The Huntingdon Bearcats are on the prowl. It's time for Bearcat football on the Air Network. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223. Brannaman's Meat Markets, Huntingdon and Mount Union. Penn Highlands Community College, Huntingdon Campus. D.C. Goodman and Sons and the Goodman family. The Huntingdon County Drop-In Center. And the Ike Taylor Show, here on the airnetwork.net. And now, for all the live action of tonight's game, let's go out to the field with all the action. Here's Chad States and Jim Zauzig. It's Huntingdon Bearcat football on the Air Network.
D.C. Goodman and Sons and the Goodman family are committed and dedicated to excellence by supporting quality education and athletics for all youth of Huntingdon County. For over 3 generations, D.C. Goodman and Sons and their staff of quality tradesmen have provided excellent service in the installation of plumbing, mechanical and industrial piping, electrical, and fire sprinkler systems. Residential services are also available. D.C. Goodman and Sons and the Goodman family will continue to serve the community, and thank you for your support. The Goodman family wishes you the best to all area students in your pursuit of excellence.
The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 is the heart of the community, serving Huntingdon for over 100 years. In addition to all the fun events our members enjoy throughout the year, the Moose family donated over $50,000 to local charities last year. Become a member of the Moose today and join the Women of the Moose on Saturday, September 17th for our breakfast and bake sale from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Then on Saturday, September 25th, get set to enjoy Quarter Stick with great classic rock from 8 to 11 p.m. Become a member of the Huntingdon Moose today. It's the best value in town. Pennsylvania Highlands Community College provides you the option to earn an associate degree, diploma, or certificate at an affordable cost. The Penn Highlands Huntingdon Center, located on Margie Drive in Huntingdon, offers degree programs in business management, criminal justice, liberal arts and sciences, and psychology. Are you ready to take the next step on your career path? Contact Penn Highlands Huntingdon at 814-643-6200 or visit Penn Highlands Community College online at pennhighlands.edu.
Brannaman's Meat Markets are celebrating nearly 70 years in providing Huntingdon County with quality USDA-approved processed pork, chicken, and beef products. Brannaman's has 2 locations in the county where the tradition of the finest meats are found in the region. Stop by Brannaman's Huntingdon weekdays from 8 to 6, Saturdays 8 to 3. Mount Union, open 9 to 5 weekdays and 9 to 2 on Saturdays. Choose specials of $10 to $50 meat packs containing your favorite meats, or stop by and ask about our select custom cuts, prepared and packaged while you wait. Brannaman's Meat Markets in Huntingdon and Mount Union. Call our office at 814-643-2751 for specials and more information.
The Huntingdon Bearcats are on the prowl. It's time for Bearcat football on the Air Network. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223. Brannaman's Meat Markets, Huntingdon and Mount Union. Penn Highlands Community College, Huntingdon Campus. D.C. Goodman and Sons and the Goodman family. The Huntingdon County Drop-In Center. And the Ike Taylor Show, here on the airnetwork.net. And now, for all the live action of tonight's game, let's go out to the field with all the action. Here's Chad States and Jim Zauzig. It's Huntingdon Bearcat football on the Air Network.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ward West Field for tonight's edition of Huntingdon Bearcat football, as the 1-2 Huntingdon Bearcats get ready to face the 2-1 Clearfield Bison. Huntingdon enters tonight's game with that 1-2 overall record and 0-2 in conference play. Last week, Huntingdon lost a thrilling 48-42 overtime loss to the Tyrone Golden Eagles, a game that saw the lead change 6 different times and came down to the last possession. Ian Border rushed for 163 yards and 3 touchdowns, but it wasn't enough to overcome the 21-0 deficit that the Cats got spotted at the beginning of the game. Clearfield, on the other hand, comes into tonight's game on the heels of a huge victory by defeating the Central Scarlet Dragon 30-28. Central entered the game as the number 2 ranked AAA team in the state. Quarterback Isaac Rummery for Clearfield threw for 277 yards and 2 touchdowns, and also halfback Seth Caldwell rushed for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns, really against one of the better defensive units and better teams in the entire state. For the series, Clearfield defeated Huntingdon 50-23 last year and have won 7 straight. Huntington's last win was a home win here in 2008, and I happen to be sitting beside the guy who helped coach and orchestrate that victory, former Bearcat head football coach and tonight's play-by-play announcer, Jim Zauzig. Jim, I'm sure you remember that game fondly.
I remember a lot about that game. Good evening, folks. Jim Zauzig here. That game in 2008. One thing about Timmy Janoko, the coach at Clearfield, he gets a little cocky every now and then. He'll run a cover 0 tonight, which means no safeties back there. He'll put everybody in a box, challenge you to go deep. But he walked into that game back in 2008, and the opening kickoff, they brought it out to about the 35-yard line, and in 3 downs, they didn't do anything. They were getting ready to punt. Well, I just got the sneaking suspicion he's going to run a fake punt. And his coaches were on the sideline trying to tell him, don't run a fake punt, just punt the ball. Well, they're ready to run it, and they're a man short, so he had to call timeout. Now it's rather obvious something's up. And so he just called time in and said, we're going for it. It was about 4th and 6. And he just took his quarterback on a quarterback sweep to the wide side of the field, and Scott Miner from his safety spot for Huntington came up, made the tackle for a loss of 2, and ever since then, from that point on, a lot of good things happened for us, and we won the game. What did you say, 38-8? Or
I think it was 33-7 or something like that. I forget what it was, but anyway, it was a deciding victory, and it really came on the heels of a lot of people not giving you much of a chance in that game either.
Well, they either come down here undefeated or 1 loss.
They had 1 loss, if I remember correctly.
It was more like the 6th or 7th game of the season. We had Mike Sellers intercepted a pass, went about 85 yards for a touchdown in the first half.
Yep.
And Andy Surratt had a punt that went from the 10-yard line to the other end of the field. By the time it came to a rest, it was inside the 5. Just when you thought Clearfield had field position because we're punting from the 10, Surratt just got one of his best punts off. So a lot of good things happened in that game.
Yep. Well, tonight, Jim's a matchup of a different scope. Clearfield coming in liking to throw the ball and doing it very well as Rummery has passed for 609 yards. His main receivers end up being Micah Heichel and Ryan Lezer. They also rush the ball very well with halfback Seth Caldwell. Huntington coming in kind of a balanced offense themselves, just not nearly as gaudy as stats. He boarded with 432 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns on the season. Andrew Hootie with 267 yards and 2 touchdown passes. The majority of his yards being thrown to slot receiver Jonathan Price, and then Noah Glennie coming out of the backfield. Price with 109 yards and Glennie with 88. So, Jim, tonight, again, Clearfield's coming off that 38-28 victory over Central, a big, huge victory in the area. Huntington coming off a very heartbreaking loss. What do you see as the keys to the game here for the Bearcats to be able to pull off this type of victory that's much needed at this point in the season?
Well, it is, and at the same time, if you're trying to coach up Huntington during the week, you got to stay positive. You got to stay positive and say, you get a break or two against, you lose a game by 1 point to Bellefonte, and you lose this thriller at Tyrone, you very easily could be 3-0 right now. And you got to think of yourself as a 3-0 team and build on that as the week goes on. Now, the issue is we've got a very good quarterback in Rummery. You get Isaac Rummery, and that's a football name in Clearfield. I think he's only a sophomore.
He is a sophomore.
And you got to shut down. He's going to throw the ball in Lezer's direction. Ryan Lezer, he's a senior. And so our pass defense, you drop 8, or do you rush and try to get him to get rid of the ball? And we'll see what the challenge is
for
Mike Hootie.
Huntington has won the toss and elected to receive the football. They will receive the football on the what I'd like to call the armory side of the field. Down here, it's a beautiful evening, much unlike last week where it was hot, it was humid, it was stuffy. And tonight's a nice, crisp, cool evening, and we are about ready to get started here between Huntington and Clearfield. Clearfield huddled up on the far side of the field there, getting last-minute instructions from Coach Tinoco. Coach Hootie out here in the field with his kickoff team. Huntington's special teams, Jim, have been special. They've actually been pretty good throughout the first 3 games of the year. To me, highlighted by kicker Timmy Leitner, who's 11 for 11 on extra points. He missed a field goal last week. That one coming in overtime, a 27-yarder. But 11 for 11 on your extra points is pretty dang good, having never picked a football before in a game.
Right.
And Huntington actually does a really good job returning the football as well with Jonathan Price and Noah Glennie. So Huntington's out, taking the field, getting ready to receive, and looks like Clearfield's coming out too.
Well, we do have Jonathan Price deep, Noah Glennie also standing at the 7-yard line, and kicking off for Clearfield is number 7. Josh Serena. He's a senior kicker. They'll kick off from the middle of the field. 5 on each side. And so it'd be nice if we could get some kind of return coming out here. So we're ready to go. Clearfield is here at War Vets Field. And like Chad said, Huntington comes into it 1-2, but very close to being 3-0. Low line drive, bounces. No, he's going to let it go in the end zone. Barely gets in the end zone. By the width of the football, not even the length of the football.
Smart decision to let it go because it looked like it had a little bit more speed, but Huntington fortunate on that. He was going to have to pick that up.
Yeah, the high grass.
The high grass we've got growing here. That's right.
So Huntington will have the ball. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line on the touchback. And a good kickoff for Clearfield to pin Huntington down at the 20. Like Chad said, great evening for football. Huntington comes out of the huddle with a tight end, wing right. Hootie's going to keep it off tackle right. A little hard to bring down. They finally blow the whistle for 23. 3-yard gain to start for Huntington. Andrew Hootie just ran himself on like a quarterback knock. Run all the way.
Hootie, the second leading receiver on a team with 199 yards and 3 touchdowns. So basically become Huntington's second halfback whenever he has the ball in his hands.
Ball's on the right hash. 2nd down and 7 for Huntington. Takes a handoff up the. Ooh. Border hit hard.
Yeah, that was number 57. Looks like Alex Daub. Junior, 5'8", 163 pounds. It's going to be like a 2-yard gain for Ian the hard way. Set up a 3rd and 6.
See, you can't trust Timmy Tinoco. I go out there before the game and said, tell me your starting lineup. Never said a word about Alex Daub, and he just stopped Border in his track. That's 3rd down and 6 for Huntington. I was always told one person you never trust is another coach. Hootie rolling left. He's looking to throw. He does get it off. A deep one. He's got a man. Cut by Price at the 20, 15, 10, out of bounds.
Wow. Price was all alone. I think the secondary got caught looking in at Hootie as he rolled out, thinking he was going to run, and they left Price wide open on the far side of the field. Jim, he was a good 15 yards in back of everybody.
The one thing you tell your D-backs, and I hope Huntington does it, if you're up against a scrambling quarterback, it's very easy to get your eyes off your man and look at the quarterback. And as soon as that happens, there's a long pass caught, I think, around at 22.
It's a 65-yard
they ran
completion.
him down at the 11-yard line. 1st down, Huntington at the Clearfield 11-yard line. And we're only 90 seconds into the ball game. Huntington threatening here. Ball's on the left half. Border goes there. Short side, 5. In, touchdown. And it is quickly 6-0 Bearcats.
Wow, what a great start, and the start that Coach Hootie had to have tonight to be able to set a tone for his young Bearcats against a stout Cleveland Bison team. But, Jim, we were talking about this defense a little bit with Clearfield and the fact that they're going to load a lot of people in the box to dare you to beat them deep or dare you to get that break, and that's what just happened.
Yep, and as soon as they drop back there, Timmy Leitner's kick is good. It's 7-0 Huntington, but they challenge. Clearfield will challenge you to throw it deep, and he retreated to the safety spot and took his eye off of Price.
And credit Andrew Hootie for showing the poise. He rolled out to his left, took a good look downfield. There were people bearing down on him, and he has the arm strength to be able to throw that ball 40, 45 yards in the air and hit Price in stride for that 65-yard completion. So just an outstanding job by the Bearcats that time. That's a 3-play, 80-yard drive to open up the game, and it's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Well, Seth Caldwell was caught up a little too tight, like I said. And he, as soon as Andrew rolled to the wide side of the field to the left, they thought he is no longer a passer, he's a runner. And then he pulled up, put the ball to his ear, and threw it deep. And that's one thing a Huntington receiver's got to do. A lot of times you tell your receivers, you run a pattern and it breaks down, a quarterback, and the play breaks down. If you're deep, come back to the ball. If you're shallow, go deep. You just don't stand there. And a lot of times, like I said, defensive backs, when the play starts breaking down, defensive backs will take a look at the quarterback, and then all of a sudden, whoops, I lost my man, and that's what happened there. Here's a Leitner kickoff. He pops it up at the 25-yard line. He's trying to get outside here to the 35, to the 40. So Sorter got the pop-up at the 25-yard line, and possibly Huntington didn't want to deal with the speed of Ryan Lezer, who was one of the guys deep there. Lezer's name a lot here.
Well, you're wearing a jacket that bears his name. It's with Lezer Lumber. His brother, I believe, is playing linebacker at Boston College and a special athlete in his own right.
Right. First down Clearfield at their own 41-yard line. Ball's on the left hash. Trips right, open end here on the short side of the field. Fake the handoff, roll to the wide side. And he's going deep. He's got him. Man, he's got it. And the one thing we talked about before the game, he's brought down. Heichel caught it at the 25, brought down by the Bearcats.
It's a 38-yard pass completion to Heichel. Yep. That's a 38-yard. Put it at
like
the
we
21.
said, that's going to be our coverage. Ball's on the right hash. First down at the Huntington 20-yard line. Handed off up the middle. Huntington's defense is all over it. -1, actually.
Yeah, Caldwell's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Looks like get the Bearcat tacklers in there for you.
Seth Caldwell, the senior running back.
Zeb Fowler and Dylan Newingham in on that tackle. So give Caldwell 1.
Ball's rushing right on the 20-yard line. Second down and 9 for the Bisons.
You always have to wait for that referee to drop that ball. You never know where they're going to put it.
Trips to the left to the wide side. He's rolling left. He's going to run all the way on it. Trying to get to the 15. We got a flag.
Yeah.
And usually it's something to do with the block.
Could be a hold here. Flag dropped at the 17, right about where Rummery got. So, yep, that's going to be a hold. First penalty of the evening. Huntington did really good last week in the penalty department. 4 penalties for 20 yards, and all 4 of those, I think, came in the first quarter, and they pretty much played mistake-free football the rest of the way. So, which has not been untypical of a Coach Hootie team. Penalties have been limited since he's been the coach, for sure.
So second down at 17 now for Clearfield at Huntington's 27-yard line. Just under 9 minutes left in the first period. Bearcats have an early lead here. Now trips to the short side of the field for Clearfield. Ball on the left dash. Fakes it. He's looking to the man on the alley. Does a slant, caught by Lezer. He's trying to find some room to run, and Huntington has him surrounded at the 17-yard line to Ryan Lezer.
He's going to get all those penalty yards back on that play. It's a 10-yard pickup.
I got a feeling that was a read play there, that he was going to go to Lezer. If they're one-on-one, they're going to go deep, but Huntington we had him pressed underneath and a safety deep, so he probably signaled for that slant.
And you got a good glimpse of his athleticism there. He's a pretty shifty guy, right in the middle of the field.
3rd down and 6 for Clearfield. Ball's on the left hash. 2 in the backfield. Hand it off. Boy, they got a push upfield. He gets inside the 10. Their offensive line pushed our defensive line back. I'll tell you what, that's a first down for Clearfield at Huntington's 8-yard line. A lot of times you talk at clinics about offensive, who do you want to block the linebackers? And there are some coaches out there who will simply say, we don't block the linebackers. We're so good, we're going to drive, double team some of those down linemen into the linebacker level. And that's what happened there. Huntington's front line was pushed. Handoff up the middle to the 5.
Yep, Caldwell's going to pick up 3
Caldwell.
more. Seth Caldwell on the carry, 3 carries for 13 yards for him. Caldwell, the leading rusher for Clearfield, coming in with 301 yards rushing. Isaac Rummery right behind him with 196 on the season. Looks like we're right on the 5-yard line.
So Caldwell's in the backfield for Clearfield. You'll hear Lezer's name a lot. Ryan is in the slot or split. They bounce him around. If they want him to run the ball, they'll put him at a wing, and that's basically where Ryan Lezer is right now. He goes in motion to the wide side. Pass over the middle, incomplete. Wow. He had his tight end, number 38.
In and out of the hands of number 38, Mason Royer. He couldn't have been, that's the Jackie Smith. He's going to regret that one type, but that was right in his hands. Great pass by Rummery right over the middle, and Royer couldn't hang on to it.
Well, this is Tim. It's 4th down, and I don't think he's going to go for a field goal. That's Tim.
3rd down and 5 now.
Oh, 3rd down and 5.
Yep, 3rd down and 5.
Well, we stop him here. We'll find out about Tim. Ball's on the left hash. He's rolling right. Quarterback keep all the way. He's trying to get vertical. He does.
He slipped through.
He's in. He's in. We had 3 guys out there, and somehow he split them, much like D'Angelo Williams did last. Did you see that touchdown?
I saw that touchdown. He just kind of slipped through.
Slipped right through.
Yep, and that's exactly what happened here with Rummery. Is he? It was a quarterback run all the way off to the right side, slipped 2 tackles, and reached the ball over the end zone. He didn't physically get into it, but he had the wits about him to reach the ball across the goal line to get the touchdown for Clearfield here at the 6:44 mark in the first quarter.
Mike's got to know his coaching opponent. Don't take anything for granted here, even on an extra point. Ball's down, kick is up high enough, and it's good. So we got a tie ball game. 6:44 left in the first period. It's Huntington 7, Clearfield 7.
Thanks to Huntington Moose Family Center number 223, Brenneman's Meat Markets, Penn Highlands Community College, Huntington Campus, D.C. Goodman & Sons, and the Goodman family, the Huntington Drop-In Center, and the Ike Taylor Show for presenting Bearcat football this season on the airnetwork.net. And don't forget to join us on Monday Night Sports Talk. It debuts this Monday at 7 p.m. for our 3rd season. Join yours truly, Chad States, along with Greg Banks, Dave Shannon, Jimmy Ty, as we discuss the Steelers, Penguins, Pirates, Pitt, Penn State, and more from the world of sports exclusively here on the airnetwork.net. So, Jim, Huntington, down the field, 3 plays, 80 yards, and Clearfield answers back. We've got a tie ball game here with 6:44 left to go.
Yeah, I'm curious now how Huntington's going to respond. They're on the mountaintop there for about a couple minutes, being ahead 7-0. Now they gave up a touchdown.
Well, if nothing more, it was a good confidence builder for the young team anyway. I mean, Huntington, again, coming in 1-2, and is considered a young football team.
Okay, we're getting ready for the kickoff. Josh Serena kicks it high, coming down to Price at the 13. Returns up the middle. He's got a lane to the 35 and stopped at the 35-yard line. First down Huntingdon, 6:37 left in the first period at 7-7. For the Bearcats, coming out there on offense right now, at center is number 77, Brady Shope. Ryan Speck is at right guard. Zeb Fowler is at left guard. Landon Fisher is at right tackle, number 60. And Lance Brown is 75 at the other tackle. Huntingdon has the ball. Handed off the border to the right side. He got a hole. Gets to the 40, gets to the 42-yard line. You brought up a stat here earlier, Chad. Border has 435 yards in 3 games. That's getting her done.
That's getting her done. And you see a little bit of how he gets it done there on that run as he takes a handoff from Andrew Hootie. He gets to the next level and is able to hurdle a linebacker to pick up 7 yards on that play. So not only is he like to run over people, as we saw last week, breaking a lot of tackles, but he also has the athleticism to be able to jump over people and get additional yards too.
Huntingdon has an off-balance line to the wide side. Ball's on the right hash. Quick out, hitch to Warner. Can't get to the first down mark at the 45. Good for about 2 or 3 yards, but it's going to be 3rd and 2. And Noah Glennie checks in for the Bearcats. Checking in for Huntingdon is number 2, Jonathan Price. Huntingdon breaks the huddle. Ball's on the left hash at our own 43-yard line. Price is split to the wide side of the field. Handed off the border, crosses the 45, gets the first down.
Great run by Ian right there.
Brought down by number 16.
An absolutely outstanding run. He's the guy, and we've been saying this all year long, but it's the truth. He's the guy that if you need those 2 yards, that's exactly where you're going to stick it. I think he has 1 negative rush carry this year, just 1 out of 67 that he's got on the year.
Right.
I'll just double check that. Yeah, 63 carries and only 1 carry for loss. So Ian brings to the table the ability to be able to pick up that 2 yards if you need it.
Steven Sawyer, inside linebacker, made the tackle on the play. 1st and 10, fakes it. Hootie up the middle. Boom. Nothing. And there's 52.
Yep. Big old
there's
Matt Collins.
Yeah.
Yep. And then when I say big old, that's a 6 foot, 220-pound senior, meaning a sophomore quarterback in that play. So, Andrew Hootie getting a little bit of the taste of the Clearfield defense on that one. No gain on there. I'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Bearcats.
Well, my talk before the game with Tim Janoko from Clearfield, I said, who on defense am I going to look for? And he said, Matt Collins, the inside linebacker, 52. 2nd down and 10. Hootie looking to throw. You got a man over the middle, jumps for a nice catch by Warner at the 30-yard line, brought down immediately.
We're going to talk about the catch from Warner, but we're also going to talk about the great block that Ian Border threw back here from the halfback position to be able to protect Hootie to make that throw. That's what good running backs do. They don't just run. They're able to go ahead and block, too, and that was an outstanding job to let Andrew Hootie have time to complete that pass for 23 yards to Werner and a 1st down.
1st down, Huntingdon at the Clearfield 30-yard line. So Huntington's answering the Clearfield score and trying to get down into the red zone. Wide slot left, hand off to the right side of the border. He finds a seam to get upfield, and he gets about 3 yards.
That's just some good, tough running right there by Ian.
Micah Heichel, one of the players on the stop for Clearfield.
So Huntington coming out. Andrew Hootie, 3 for 3 so far in a game for 90 yards, 2 catches to Werner, and then the big one to Price in the very first drive. So Huntington showing the multiple facets of the offense that they have here.
Ball's on the right hash, coming in motion. Wegler's handed off the border up the middle. Oh, he could have one more broken tackle. He had 6 on it. And I do have to say on that particular play that Huntington got a push against the Clearfield line. Handed to the Huntington line of Shope, Speck, Fowler, Brown, and Fisher. That time they got a push on the Clearfield line. Good run, 1st down for Huntington at the Clearfield 19-yard line.
And Huntington picking up their 6th 1st down already through 2 drives, so showing the ability to move the ball.
Makes it. Hootie keeps it. and gets to the 15-yard line.
Impressed so far with the Huntington offense, Jim. Mixing it up, making the right calls, attacking the defense like they need to, and they clearly saw some things on film that they could take advantage of personnel package-wise, and they're doing it.
Yeah, and I think one of the keys to this game is you got an offense like Clearfield. Your best defense is a good offense. Keep the ball. We're down to 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Already Huntington with 132 yards of total offense so far, so really putting together a nice game plan.
We got a timeout by Huntington because Andrew Hoody's ankle is killing him.
Listen to tonight's game again at 11 p.m. on the airnetwork.net. Also look for each Bearcat football game on our front page and under podcast tabs for on-demand listening anytime on the airnetwork.net. Here are a couple scores from around the area. State College leads Mifflin County 7-0 in the first quarter. Juniata Valley and Williamsburg are tied at 7 in the first as well. So we are at a timeout here, 2:17 to go, first quarter. And Jim, you got to be really liking what we're seeing. The Huntington team responding off of a tough loss last week. Played pretty well in that ball game, and is coming out and playing even better tonight than what they did previous week. And that's exactly what you want to see, is progression made by a team. And Huntington's definitely made that.
Yeah, they have shown progressive. I think the issue with Andrew Hoody is maybe cramping. He's trying to run it off. Meanwhile, Jarris Warner is taking snaps. And it's just it looks like a cramp right now as Huntington is taking a time out to see if Andrew can go or not go. At times, he was jogging all right, but he's walking on it, and it's bothering him. He just looked back at the trainer and the doctor and said he's coming to the sideline. We'll soon find out. Warner's in the huddle right now. Huntington's still on the sideline. 2:17 left. Andrew going back in. I got a feeling Andrew's not running the quarterback draw on this play. Something tells me he's not going to run the quarterback because he's limping back out there.
Oh, he is. He's hobbling pretty good. You can see him favoring that for sure.
I think it's muscular here. It's a cramp. And he's trying to run it off. But I got a feeling he's not running the quarterback draw. 2nd down and 8 for Huntington. Handed off the border. Left tackle. He's trying to get outside. And the white jerseys tracked him down. Pursuit got him.
He bottled up for no gain on the play.
I think he got to the 16 for a short one.
Yep. Here he is coming back over. He's still favoring. Looks like that left leg of his, maybe the calf, or you're hoping not a hamstring, but that might be a case of picking up his foot.
3rd down and 8, and Sellers come in the game, and that's telling me that Andrew's going to throw this. And the only way Border's going to get it would be on a draw play or Border out of the backfield. We got tight end flanker. Andrew Hoody's looking to pass. He's going in the end zone, and it's tipped away by the corner back there.
Great defensive play by Ty Lynch to be able to tip that ball away from Sellers in the corner. And that'll bring up a 4th down and 6 for Huntington here, and we'll see.
Yeah, T's coming out. So
it's Timmy. It's Timmy. He's out on the field. Tim Leitner. 11 for 11 in extra points and 0 for 1 in field goals. And this looks like this is going to be about a 34-yard field goal attempt for Tim Leitner.
Good snap. He kicks it. It's not going to have enough muster to it. And it came up about 3 yards short. So with 1:26 left in the first period, it's a tie ball game here at War Vets Field. Huntington 7 and Clearfield 7.
The AirNetwork.net welcomes 2-time Super Bowl champion and former Steeler Ike Taylor to our lineup every Wednesday from 8 to 9 p.m. on the Ike Taylor Show. Join Ike and sports columnist John Harris along with current and former NFL players and sports experts live every Wednesday evening at 8 exclusively on the AirNetwork.net.
So Clearfield has it at their own 20-yard line. 1:26 left in the first period. And Clearfield comes out with their quarterback, Isaac Rummery, hands it off. And they got about 7.
Seth Caldwell on the carry. He's going to pick up about 4.
That was Caldwell.
Give him 4 on the carry. And Caldwell, again, he's no slouch at the running back position. Last year he had over 200 yards against Huntington rushing, and last week put up a fine performance against a very stout Central squad for, I think, 154 yards and 2 scores.
Caldwell standing on the short side, takes the handoff, off tackle right. Never got to the 25, or he got to the 25 before Huntington got him.
Yeah.
Good run defense by Huntington the first 2 downs, forces a 3rd down and 5. Okay, 2 plays, and the ball hasn't gone into Lezer's hands yet. Something tells me a quick hitch to Lezer or a flanker screen. Ball's on the left hash. Lezer is out here. And now we're going to double up on Lezer here to the short side. Here's a pass over the middle, or to the right side, complete. He never looked back. It's completed at the 40 to the 30, 25. We got him surrounded there at the 20. I don't think Andrew looked back to the ball. Andrew Finkel
He did not. That was
back.
Andrew Finkel on the coverage. He did not. That's a 53-yard pass completion to Heichel, and a first down for Clearfield.
I think in the future I am going to talk to those guys. Are you teaching them not to look back?
He never turned. All he had to do was turn and throw a hand up in the air, and it would have just tipped right off of his hand, but it didn't happen. And, again, a 53-yard pass completion to Micah Heichel, his second catch for 91 yards. Rummery up over 100 yards now in passing, and they're going to set up shop at the 21-yard line for Huntington here as we have another timeout.
The first quarter came to an end.
Did it. First quarter came to an end, so your score at the end of 1, Huntington 7, Clearfield 7. You're listening to Huntington Bearcat Football on the airnetwork.net.
The Huntington Moose Family Center 223 is the heart of the community, serving Huntington for over 100 years. In addition to all the fun events our members enjoy throughout the year, the Moose family donated over $50,000 to local charities last year. Become a member of the Moose today and join the Women of the Moose on Saturday, September 17th for our breakfast and bake sale from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Then on Saturday, September 25th, get set to enjoy Quarter Stick with great classic rock from 8 to 11 p.m. Become a member of the Huntington Moose today. It's the best value in town.
Brenneman's Meat Markets are celebrating nearly 70 years in providing Huntingdon County with quality USDA-approved processed pork, chicken, and beef products. Brenneman's has 2 locations in the county where the tradition of the finest meats are found in the region. Stop by Brenneman's Huntingdon weekdays from 8 to 6, Saturdays 8 to 3. Mount Union, open 9 to 5 weekdays and 9 to 2 on Saturdays. Choose specials of $10 to $50 meat packs containing your favorite meats. Or stop by and ask about our select custom cuts, prepared and packaged while you wait. Brenneman's Meat Markets in Huntingdon and Mount Union. Call our office at 814-643-2751 for specials and more information. And now, back to Huntingdon Bearcat football on the airnetwork.net.
And it's second down and 2. Lezer on the zip. Huntington's got
Pennsylvania Highlands Community College provides you the option to earn an associate degree.
Yep. So first play of the game, or first play of the second quarter there, Rummery gained 8 yards all the way up to the Bearcat 12, and it looks like Lezer's going to lose 3 back to the 15 as we're going to have a 3rd down and 3, 3rd down and 4 situation from the Huntington 15-yard line.
Anticipating a pass. Drop Speck out of the lineup and Noah Glennie come in. We're going to go man-to-man out here on the wide side. We're going to hand it off up the middle and brought down immediately.
Zeb Fowler on the tackle.
Yeah, by Zeb Fowler.
Great individual effort there to prevent that from happening. Now we'll see what Janoko does on 4th down. Here's where you say that he likes to be the riverboat gambler.
He does. I'm looking for it. There is a T in the guy's hand. So maybe they ball's on the left hash. It's at the 15-yard line. And apparently that's not a T. That's a glove. So Tim's going to go for it. 4th and 3. Ball's at Huntington's 15-yard line. Bearcats got a Rummy's rolling right. He gets vertical to the 10, and it's just barely enough for the first down.
5-yard pickup for
Quarterback
Rummery.
keeper all the way.
Yep, quarterback keeper all the way. 5-yard pickup. 1st and 10 at the 10.
Somebody probably just figured out that when a quarterback runs the ball, you gain a blocker. I think you guys back in the 1940s did it the right way. Why hand it off to somebody to run it? Just snap it to them and let them run it. 9:50 left in the first half, tie game, but Clearfield is knocking on the door. Rummery rolls left. It is intercepted.
It's a great one-handed interception.
One-handed interception.
We got a flag, too, but let's see who picked that off.
Is Alex Mike?
Looks like Alex Mikett with his 2nd interception of the year right at the 5-yard line. We're going to see what this flag is, but that's a great effort by Alex Mikett.
Right, the penalty is against Clearfield, and it was a throw that Rummery was just expecting to throw it off of Mike's shoulder without him looking. And Alex reached back with the left hand, if I'm remembering this right, the left hand.
That's where that
made a one-handed interception.
Was his left hand, and that's where that 6'2" frame comes into play. So Alex Mikett with his 2nd interception in as many weeks. And
I
Huntington,
think they should be checking for stickum there because that stuck right in his hand. Big turnover.
Big turnover is right.
And Huntington gets the ball. We do have it in the shadow of the goalpost at the 7. Balls on the right hash. We got slot here to the wide side. Hand it off. And Noah's trying to get outside.
That is a great shifty run by Noah Glennie. In the shadow of your own end zone, you're going to hit a quick hitter to the halfback moving through. Glennie he was moving north and south, and his hips were flowing just with him. And he's able to get all the way out to where are we at here? To the 22-yard line, 15-yard pickup, exactly what you needed.
Started at the right wing, the belly play back to the left side, to the wide side. And
again, here's where you say that wing T is hard to defend from the linebacker position.
1st and 10 at the 22. Snap back, fake handoff, back out to the wideout, a quick hitch at the wideout. Trying to get some running room, can't get it. Good throw by Andrew that time.
That's a long throw over there. Jarris Warner on a reception. Looks like it's going to be call it no gain on that one, but that's a long throw for a quarterback to make. People don't realize when you're on the far hash mark and you're going to throw the ball across the field like that, it takes considerable arm strength for that to be able to happen. We've seen Andrew with that. So no gain on the play.
Best thing for Huntington was Andrew, when we were just on defense there, Andrew was getting a rub down here on the bench to rub out that cramp, and he looks a lot more fluid out there. 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line. Andrew takes a snap. 1-on-1, he throws a slant, intercepted by Lezer. Lezer knocked down Price, and Lezer has the interception, no flag. Now he's to the 20. Now we got a flag for a bad block. Should that be a makeup?
I don't know, but you're right. It was highway robbery out here, and you and I usually are pretty fair to the officials and have been throughout the whole season. But that one, I think a state trooper needs involved because there was some mugging going on, and Lezer coming up with the interception. That won't get reversed. We'll see what the penalty is here.
Lezer came right through Price to make that interception. And on his return down to the 10-yard line, there was a clip on the play against Clearfield. And they'll march it from the 10 back to the 25-yard line. So 2 turnovers here, 2 interceptions here in the last couple of minutes. And Clearfield again has the ball deep in Huntington territory. 7-7 ball game. Started out rather crazy. 2 scores in the first 4 minutes. And things have settled down here. 8:16 left in the first half. Tie game at 7. And Clearfield has the ball just inside Huntington's 25.
Kind of like what we saw last week, where we kind of just traded turnovers. Huntington fumbled on the one, and then Tyrone fumbled it back, and Huntington was able to go in and score. Let's see if we can come up with a big play here and a big stop defensively.
Well, the referees are ready now. We got first snap for Clearfield. Ball's on the left hash. We got double slot. And where's Lezer? He's on the short side. Split to the short side. Rummery takes a snap. Fakes a handoff. He's looking downfield. He's scrambling. We come up on him. Overthrows. Good hit by Border as he got rid of it.
That's a real good hit by Porter. Perfectly timed.
Right on the quarterback.
And you know what? Sometimes you just got to knock him down like that to say, guess what? I'm here the next time you want to try and roll out. Make him think about it a little bit. And that's exactly what Ian Porter stepped up and did, is he put Rummery right down on his backside. Rummery throwing that ball high and out of bounds, and it'll set up a second down.
Ball's on the left hash at the 25-yard line. And now Lezer comes to the wide side of the field where he is matched up one-on-one with Price. They have a slot on the wide side also, but he goes in motion. Snap back. They fake it to him. Now they're rolling back to Lezer's side. But Rummery can't find Lezer. He's got to keep it. And the Bearcat defense did a good job flagging him down.
Brady Shope getting his big old paws out there and not letting go. And Rummery showing some shiftiness out there, but Shope, who's a heavyweight on the wrestling team, showing his nimbleness too. Once he got a good grip on him, Rummery wasn't going anywhere, and it brings up a 3rd and long.
3rd down, 8, the ball now sitting in the middle of the field. The Bisons come out with a wing right here to the wide side of the field. Rummery takes a snap. He's looking to throw it over the middle. Got his man. Oh, a hit. Incomplete, but brought down immediately.
Drew Weglars. And that's the tight end again. Royer with a wide open again in the middle of the field. It hit his hands and bounced right out, but I don't know if he's going to hang on to that ball, Jim, because Weglars just planted him at the 20-yard line. Even if he does catch it, that ball's squirting out.
Secondary doing a good job of hitting here. We just got those long passes.
One of the things that you want to do with these receivers is give them short arms. Make them think about every time you're going to catch it, do I really want to? And that's what he just made the tight end think about there. Alligator arms. Yep. Alligator arms.
4th down and 8. Trips left. Lezer on the island. We got 2 men on him, and we got a rush. He's scrambling. He can't find a place to throw. Now he throws it deep. Knock it down. It is knocked down by Price. Good rush by Mikett and Newingham. And I think Shope was in there too, but they had him scrambling all the way back to the 40-yard line, and Bearcat defense comes up again.
And what a great defensive stand. I just said that, hey, you've turned the ball over. Now let's see what you can go ahead and do. Clearfield started that ball at the 25-yard line. The ball's now at the 23, so 2 yards is all Huntington allowed, and now they're back in business offensively here.
Cats playing with a lot of confidence right now. The ball's on the 22-yard line, 23-yard line, their own 23. Shotgun snap. Fake handoff the border. Hootie keeps it left. We got a flag. Andrew gets out to the 26. And we'll probably be looking at a holding here.
It's like it's right at the line of scrimmage.
The umpire might have thrown that.
Yeah. Let's see what your penalty.
Andrew Hootie does get about 3 yards. Holding against Huntington.
See where they mark it off from. This is a spot foul, so it's not from the end of the run. It's from where the foul occurred. It looks like it's right at the line of scrimmage, and that's where it's going to be. So it'll be a 10-yard penalty and set up 1st and 20 for Huntington. That's their first penalty on the ball game. Flags have been lined. Clearfield, 2 for 20 yards, and Huntington with their first. It's a 10-yard penalty. Move it all the way back to where are we at here? The 13-yard line.
Doing a great job there, Garrett. Huntington comes out 1st and 20 now. We got slot to the wide side of the field right. Hootie rolls right. He's looking to throw. He tries to hit the underneath man. It's Werner.
Well, he came out. He rolled right thing to do. Andrew just fired a 90-mile-per-hour fastball into the ground there to Werner. I'm not sure really he could do much else besides maybe get that ball up just a little bit, as there was a lot of white shirts around him, Jarris, whenever he was going to catch that ball. But
he hooked up about 12 yards.
He did, that's for sure. And Andrew's got a cannon. He's got a rifle. Put that baby in there, but just come up a little bit short.
2nd and 20. Huntington at their own 13-yard line. We got slot. They got 3 over 2 on defense. In motion. Goes Glennie. Nothing there. Andrew's looking to throw. He's going to keep it. Well, if he can get out here, we got another flag. He does escape the pocket. He gets out to the 26. Hard to bring down Andrew. He gets past the 30. Unfortunately, on his scramble, there is a flag.
That's right at the 10-yard line, too.
Normally, I'd probably decline that, but now that Hootie escaped the pocket and got out here to almost the 30-yard line, Clearfield's going to bring that baby back.
Yeah, that'll be half the distance penalty to the 5. Was a hold.
Alex Micah checking in the lineup for. Nope, he's not going to. Checking in for Huntington is Andrew Finkel.
That'll be a half the distance penalty and move the ball back to the 5-yard line. So
it's second and a country mile for Huntington. We got to get out to the 33-yard line. Tie game 7-7. 6.5 minutes left in the first half. Second down. Trying not to get it all right now. Hand off the border to the right side and hit a Bison wall.
He is
there at the 7.
Stacked up. Maybe a gain of 1. We'll see what ends up happening. Now you got to think about at least trying to get some yardage to get out of that end zone because you don't want to put your punter at the back of the end zone. No gain on the play there for Border. 8 carries, 36 yards still for the junior tailback. So bring up a 3rd and long. And when we say long, I'm talking it's a 3rd and about 27.
Even if you can get about 15 yards on this play, it'd be plus.
Yes.
Now, he's not the riverboat gambler now. He's got 2 safeties back there. Andrew is in trouble. He never got a chance to set his feet. Gets sacked at the 2. So we are going to be punting out of the end zone, like you said, with 5:40 left in the half.
Like he sacked it, though.
He faked it, turned, went to throw, and we saw 3 white jerseys in his face. So Andrew's going to have his heels right on that end line.
One deep. To catch this. Looks like Spencer Graham back deep.
He gets it off and shanks it off to the right. And bad news. He kicked it.
Wow, that's a 10-yard punt.
He really shanked it.
That's a 10-yard punt, so Clearfield's going to set up shop at the 11.
Well, that's not even a 10-yard punt, is it?
It goes from the line of scrimmage. So
right. Yeah, from the 5. Yeah, you're right. That's 6-yard punt. Not good. And what could be an issue here was Andrew's leg was bothering him. He cramps. He obviously didn't lift that leg when he punted it. They better have a backup punter. Backup punter for Clearfield is in position to take the lead here with 5:11 left now. Tim Janoko calls a timeout. Try to rally his troops. The ball's on the 10-yard line and telling those guys, you've been down here before, you haven't scored yet. So timeout Clearfield. 7-7, 5:11 left in the half.
Look for our weekly Bearcat Trivia football question on the 3rd quarter each week on the airnetwork.net Facebook page. Answer the question correctly, and we'll reward you that week's prize. Listen to win in the 3rd quarter for Bearcat football trivia only on the airnetwork.net. And Jim, a little bit of a shout-out to you from Dave Berman. Dave is to broadcast Lewistown area games, Indian Valley and but Indian Valley and Lewistown, and he's out near the Philly area. So we'd like to say hi to Dave out there, and thanks for listening to Bearcat football.
See, Dave, you got me into the media kind of stuff now.
He used to be on the other end of the microphone, giving quotes. Now he's asking for them for crying out loud. It's a whole different ball game.
Do I want to get back into it or don't I? I'm having fun with this microphone. You can say anything you want.
You can. Shoot from the hip and you're not worried about it. That's exactly right.
All right, Clearfield comes out of the huddle. Ball's on Huntington just outside the 10, about the 11-yard line. We got slots to the short side of the field, which is on the left side, and a slot to the wide side. He's going to hand it. Oh, no, he's going to keep it up the middle to the 2. Rummery. Good fake on the read to his running back, number 3.
7-yard pickup up to the 3-yard line now for Clearfield. 2nd down and goal to go. 7-7 your score. 4:50 to go now, 2nd quarter.
They have a couple threats there with Caldwell and Rummery. Now their fullback is McGonigle's in the game. They're going to follow McGonigle up the middle. He got, as long as we put him down.
I think he got stacked up there. Ian Border, Zeb Fowler, and Dylan Newingham are going to stack him up at the 1 yard line. Yep.
Good enough for the first down.
Good enough for the first down.
That's a plus. If the ball is, you'd rather the ball be at the 11-yard line than the 9-yard line. 9-yard line means you've got to use 4 downs to get in. So it's first and goal at the 1 foot line. With McGonigle, the fullback, in there. We're going to follow McGonigle up the end. And he dives in, but there is some laundry out there by the head linesman. They might have an offside.
And it is. Offside's Clearfield. So take that touchdown off of the board and move Clearfield back to...
Well, I know this is week 4, but I think I've said something all 4 weeks about teams getting down in their stance. Don't go in motion until you count 1,000, then go in motion.
Yep.
And Clearfield went in motion as their lineman went down. So a break here. First and goal at the 5-yard line. And McGonigle still in there at fullback. They're going to follow him up 4-3. Touchdown. Clearfield with 4:10 left. In the first half, it's Clearfield getting back on the board with their second touchdown.
Yep, the 6-yard touchdown run for Seth Caldwell at the 4:10 mark here in the second quarter. Caldwell, 7 carries, 27 yards on the evening, and Serena will set up to add the extra point.
13-7. Serena getting ready for the extra point. Price almost got to that ball, but it's up and through. So we're at 4:10 left in the first half. It's Clearfield 14 and Huntington 7.
Thanks to Huntington Moose Family Center, number 223. Frenneman's Meat Markets, Penn Highlands Community College, Huntington campus, D.C. Goodman's and Sons and the Goodman family, the Huntington County Drop-In Center, and the Ike Taylor Show for presenting Bearcats football this season on the airnetwork.net. Listening to Chad States here, color analyst, and Jim Zauzig from War Vets Field. And Jim, so far through a quarter and a half at this point in time, we've got a pretty good ball game on our hands. And I got to say that I'm one surprised announcer sitting here thinking that this might be more one-sided based off of previous week's results. But as you had pointed out, you got to realize Huntington's very close to being a 3-0 football team with a narrow loss to Belmont and an overtime loss to Tyrone. So when you start to really think about it, this isn't that surprising of a score, despite the fact that Clearfield's coming off that big win against Central. So we are in we're in a good football game here. 14-7 Clearfield.
But Huntington's got to finish out this last 4 minutes and 10 seconds strong, meaning, control these last 4 minutes. Whether you score or not, obviously we want you to score, but you don't want to finish by giving Clearfield an opportunity to score. There's a pop-up coming down, and it's almost an onside kick. And Huntington does recover at the 30-yard line, but nobody could get to that ball.
And that was close.
That was close, but Price did get to it at the 31-yard line. So you want to finish this half out strong.
Well, and Clearfield...
that last touchdown was all because of the shank punt.
Absolutely. But here, I don't want to say that this is not a great move by Clearfield because they're obviously trying to make something happen, but they're giving Huntington good field position here at the 30.
Yeah, they're not pinning them back.
Pinning them back.
Ball's on the left hash. They're going to hand it off to Glennie. He can't get upfield. He started at the wing on the left side, went in high motion, and took the hand off to the right side. Tried to go off tackle. He bounced to the outside. Couldn't get vertical. Second down, and he got by 3, though.
Yeah, about 3. Glennie, 2 carries, 18 yards on the evening.
Sellers checks in the game for Huntington. 2nd down and 7. Sellers goes to the short side of the field at wide receiver. Andrew with taking a snap, hands it off to Border, short side. Crosses the 35, gets about 2 more, and a 3rd down and 5. And Weglars checks back in for Huntington for Sellers.
2-yard pickup that time for Border. 9 carries, 38 yards for him on the evening. Huntington with 148 yards of total offense. Clearfield looking at about 155 yards of total offense. So even across the score sheet here in this 14-7 ball game.
We're at 3 minutes left in the half. Boy, we could use a 1st down here.
This is a big one.
I want to give the ball back to him. Ball's on the right hash, 3rd down and 5. Andrew hands it off to Border, coming to the wide side. Ian couldn't get upfield. Stopped the 36-yard line. A gain of 1. That's 4th down and 4.
Ran right into that strong linebacker contingent of Clearfield, including number, I'm going to get these guys, 52, Matt Collins, and 56, Dylan Fenton. He's going to get about 1 on that carry. That's going to bring up a 4th down and a punting situation for the Bearcats.
Hooney's not punting this.
No, he's not.
It looks like a 2-digit. There's the punt. It's high, but not deep. But it's high. Give us a roll. We've got no roll. Came down at the 42-yard line.
Get a touch on that. That was
stay there is Doingham.
Drew Weglars on the punt. That's a 23-yard punt for Weglars.
So this is what I'm worried about here. We got to finish strong here on defense.
Well,
Clearfield has the ball at their own 43-yard line with 2 minutes left.
You know, we talk about the importance of special teams. And, you know, years ago, you had a punter that in that situation is going to bury him back to the 10. Whenever you had Andy Surratt, he could flip a field like nobody's business. But when you struggle in these special teams, it can be exposed like a nerve here. And
ball's on the right hash. Got the fullback. Hands it off to fullback. But he's not going anywhere there. Is number 25, Luke McGonigal.
McGonigal's first carry of the evening.
Well, that's sort of to keep Mom and Dad happy. It'll probably be his only carry of the night. You got weapons.
No gain on the play. And I'm surprised. Lezard only has 1 carry for -3 yards and then 1 reception for 10. So not a lot of touches out of Ryan Lezard tonight, which is kind of surprising.
Ball's on the right hash. Lezer is split to the wide side of the field. Fake. He's looking for knocked down.
Oh, great play.
Pass was knocked down by Ian Border.
Yep, what an absolutely great
and
play.
And he was looking for Lezer on a slant. And I know what they're doing there. If he looks out to Lezer and he's one-on-one, he's going to run a fade on that one-on-one. And when Huntington has, every now and then, Huntington has 2 people on him, he'll slant.
I really can't say enough about how well this Huntington defense has played. I mean,
he timed that.
Clearfield, he did time that. Clearfield has some legitimate superstars on their side of the field. Huntington is doing a great job neutralizing them in this 14-7 ball game.
3rd and 11. Rummery takes a snap. He's looking to pass. He's under pressure to run a screen. And Huntington's all over the screen at the 38-yard line. A loss on that screen of another 3.
Border, Mikan, and Newingham just sniffed that out. And, Caldwell with nowhere to go on that catch. He's going to lose 3 yards on it, and it's going to bring up a 4th down in a punting situation. So, again, what Huntington needed to do was get a stop there after returning giving them back the football with a poor punt and great field position. It's exactly what they do.
Well, the Huntington linebackers did a great job of reading their people and keeping their eyes. As, they were all over the running back, Caldwell. Clock is now inside. Clearfield's going to let that baby run as far as it can. Play clock is now 2-1, and he calls a timeout with 1 second on the play clock. So Timmy Janoko is content right here to, if I'm going to punt the ball, I don't want Huntington to have any more than about 30 seconds to deal with it.
Coming up at halftime, here's a sample of the Ike Taylor Show on tonight's game. Then listen to the Ike Taylor Show every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. exclusively worldwide on the airnetwork.net. So 36 seconds left to go, Jim. 36 seconds left to go. 14-7 your ball game. Huntington, again, I can't say enough, Jim, doing a great job defensively against this potent Clearfield attack.
I really like the last 3 plays here.
Absolutely.
All 3 plays, Huntington snuffed it out.
I mean,
all three of them.
Rummery coming in throwing for over 600 yards. He's got 98 on the evening so far tonight. So, 200-plus yards in each of his other ball games. And tonight, he's held, just under that average in the first half. But really, those yards haven't amounted to a whole heck of a lot, besides the one big one to Heichel early on in the first period.
The Clearfield has at their own 40-yard line, 4th and 14. They will punt with Bryce deep. Huntington's looking to bring people, and it's snapped over his head. He goes back to the 15. He falls down on it, irregardless of who has the ball. And he picked it up and went in, and you can't kiss that one goodbye. It's a touchdown for Huntington.
Well, Jim, let's just sit down and explain that, because that was a punt over top of the punter's head.
The snap went over the top of the punter's
head. The worst
head.
thing you can have happen in that situation. He goes down, he tries to get it and gather it up, and as he's doing it, he's fumbling the ball all the way. The ball is still alive at that point in time. Dylan Newingham picks the ball up at the 8-yard line and walks in for a Huntington touchdown with 25 seconds left to go. And we're a Timmy Leitner extra point away from being tied here, and Coach Dinoco has got to be chewing his hair or tearing his hair out on that one. That is exactly what you did not need to have happen, and it's a great, great momentum shift for Huntington going in at halftime here.
Snaps down.
Kick is up, and it is drilled through those uprights.
Clock's running.
And, wow, what an outstanding job by the Bearcats on that
Extra point is good. It's 14-14. So Huntington has a little momentum going into the locker room. We had a bad punt earlier that cost us a touchdown, but Clearfield scored off the shank punt. And now Huntington scores off of a high snap on a punt to the Clearfield punter. And picked up by Newingham and goes in for the touchdown to tie this thing up. So Huntington's getting ready to kick off with Lesser deep.
And you can guarantee this isn't going to be in his hands. They're not going to kick it deep to Lesser and Rick's not with 14 seconds left. But what a what a change of story here at Warvats Field. 14-14 your score with 14 seconds left to go as Clearfield with a bad snap on the punt. Huntington able to pick up the ball as it was still rolling around at the 8-yard line. Dylan Newingham walks it in at that point in time. PAT is good, and we are all knotted up here just about going into halftime. It looks like Ian Border's going to be doing kickoff duties here. So
they're not kicking it deep.
They're not, no. It's just somebody.
Ian's going to place that baby.
That's exactly what he just did.
Short, but it's bouncing.
It's going to give Lesnar a shot at the 11.
Pick it up at the 11 or 12. And he falls down at the 20.
Wow. And he fell down.
Yeah, he just fell down.
It wasn't anybody with a tackle creditor on that one. He just fell down. Porter on the kickoff there. And we have 2 seconds left to go, so I think they would just end up kneeling
20.
this.
20. That's a 20. He had to reset that thing back to 25.
Oh, okay. Sorry, a little bit confusion on the clock there.
Well, I was looking at Mike. Mike was going down to the headlines.
Yep. We'll see. They're just going to run the clock.
Run the clock.
Yep, they're running the clock. They kneeled it, I think. Trying to figure out what's going on here, but regardless, there's 10 seconds left to go. They're just going to wind it down, and that's going to be...
What happened was the clock had to be reset at 25
That's going to be the half, so horn's going to blare here any second now. Both teams are going to walk in at halftime here at Warvats Field. A little bit of a surprise as Huntington Bearcats are all knotted up with the Clearfield Bison, 14-14. You are listening to Chad States and Jim Zauzig and Bearcat football on the Air Network.net.
D.C. Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family are committed and dedicated to excellence by supporting quality education and athletics for all youth of Huntingdon County. For over 3 generations, D.C. Goodman & Sons and their staff of quality tradesmen have provided excellent service in the installation of plumbing, mechanical and industrial piping, electrical, and fire sprinkler systems. Residential services are also available. D.C. Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family will continue to serve the community, and thank you for your support. The Goodman family wishes you the best to all area students in your pursuit of excellence.
Pennsylvania Highlands Community College provides you the option to earn an associate degree, diploma, or certificate at an affordable cost. The Penn Highlands Huntingdon Center, located on Margie Drive in Huntingdon, offers degree programs in business management, criminal justice, liberal arts and sciences, and psychology. Are you ready to take the next step on your career path? Contact Penn Highlands Huntingdon at 814-643-6200 or visit Penn Highlands Community College online at pennhighlands.edu.
Brenneman's Meat Markets are celebrating nearly 70 years in providing Huntingdon County with quality USDA-approved processed pork, chicken, and beef products. Brenneman's has 2 locations in the county where the tradition of the finest meats are found in the region. Stop by Brenneman's Huntingdon weekdays from 8 to 6, Saturdays 8 to 3. Mount Union, open 9 to 5 weekdays and 9 to 2 on Saturdays. Choose specials of $10 to $50 meat packs containing your favorite meats. Or stop by and ask about our select custom cuts, prepared and packaged while you wait. Brenneman's Meat Markets in Huntingdon and Mount Union. Call our office at 814-643-2751 for specials and more information.
The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 is the heart of the community, serving Huntingdon for over 100 years. In addition to all the fun events our members enjoy throughout the year, the Moose family donated over $50,000 to local charities last year. Become a member of the Moose today and join the Women of the Moose on Saturday, September 17th for our breakfast and bake sale from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Then on Saturday, September 25th, get set to enjoy Quarter Stick with great classic rock from 8 to 11 p.m. Become a member of the Huntingdon Moose today. It's the best value in town. You're listening to the airnetwork.net. I am Greg Banks, class of 72, proud to be a Bearcat. Chat States and Jim Zauzig with live action tonight of Huntingdon Bearcat football. And the Airnet, by the way, started in Johnstown, Pennsylvania over 5 years ago, and we're moving home to retire. And so, being that we are a Bearcat alum, you got it. We do the Bearcat games. If stations don't want to do it, hey, we'll take care of it. We also syndicate worldwide the Ike Taylor Show every Wednesday night from 8 until 9 p.m. worldwide on several hundred radio stations across the nation. And Ike Taylor, of course, a former Pittsburgh Steeler. And in addition to that, we've done arena football. We'll be working with Marcus Colston, who came to Huntingdon to visit us just recently. And also, by the way, one of the co-owners, along with Ron Jaworski of the Philadelphia Soul. In addition to that, we do NAHL hockey all over the world. And so, as you can see, even though we're in Huntingdon, Pennsylvania, we're Huntingdon proud. Tonight at halftime, Huntingdon and Clearfield all tied up at 14 apiece. We were talking with Ike Taylor just recently, and Ike and I keep in touch every day as I produce his show worldwide. But on Wednesday evenings at 8 p.m., Ike Taylor and a good friend of mine, John Harris, columnists for the Pittsburgh Tribune-Review, get together after 6 years being in Pittsburgh radio to do the Ike Taylor Show. They have now moved to the airnetwork.net. It wasn't a no-brainer. It wasn't that hard. They knew what we were doing on the AirNet, and they asked us to join us, and we more than obliged them. Coming up in a moment, we'll talk with, we'll check in with Ike and Johnny on one of their previous shows this week, where they talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers season thus far. Meanwhile, we have Monday Night Sports Talk debuting this Monday night. Regionally, we talk about the Steelers, the Pirates, Pitt, Penn State, even Huntingdon football, wrestling, you name it, we talk about it with Dave Shannon from the Altoona area, Jimmy Ty from Philadelphia, John Harris from Pittsburgh, Chad States, you know him, from Huntingdon, PA, and yours truly, Greg Banks Poncho, a.k.a. Steve Austin, however you remember me. But here's a little tidbit of the show that we did Wednesday night with Ike Taylor here live on the airnetwork.net. Again, halftime. It is Huntingdon and Clearfield all knotted up at 14 apiece on the airnetwork.net.
Your Steelers in the news again, as always. I got to tell you, man, it might have been the most impressive performance on Monday Night Football. I mean, the Steelers took Washington to the woodshed, 38-16. Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown. People are talking, is this the best quarterback wide receiver combination of all time? We're going to get to that. And I think you can give a special insight into Ben Roethlisberger, into Antonio Brown, having played with these guys, having gone out and covered Antonio Brown for a lot of years. You talked about him even before he became a big name, how good you thought this kid was going to be. What did you see on Monday night?
You saw Antonio Brown, John. You saw a guy who, in the offseason, when you listen to a Von Miller, said, man, Antonio Brown workout before the Dancing with the Stars workout. Antonio Brown workout after the Dancing with the Stars workout. So you see that now. If you watch him on Instagram or Twitter, he's getting off the plane and he's going to work out. Like, Antonio Brown is not a party guy. He got one thing in mind, and it's winning the Super Bowl, being the best receiver active right now, and probably trying to get a gold jacket. And it shows week in and week out, John. So everything he's done in the offseason is transferring over to the regular season. Even the little glimpses, the 1 or 2 plays he had in the preseason, he was just giving us a little appetizer. Now he's ready to put the whole entree together or course together, and you see what he's doing in the first game.
We heard some, and I guess that's the most impressive thing about it. Monday Night Football, everybody's watching. We've heard so much about this. Antonio Brown this, Antonio Brown that, number 1 pick in fantasy, blah, 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 blah. And then he just goes right out and does it. Everything that everybody said, people that didn't really know about him, they were curious and wanted to see it. He did it. He performed. Football fans watch Monday Night Football. Non-football fans watch Monday Night Football. So there's a whole lot of, as good as this guy has been, now there's a whole lot more Antonio Brown fans now. We're going to probably see a whole lot more people around the country wearing number 84 jerseys. Go back, though, to when you were just working up against this guy every day in practice. I remember, we go back so far when we did a show in Pittsburgh at training camp one year. You guys got into a tussle. It was so this is training camp. Teammates. How intense he was, how intense you were. But just what is it about him? You talked about the work ethic, but there's something about this guy. You saw it firsthand in practice every day, watching from the sidelines during games. As a receiver, what is it that makes him special? You've played against some of the greatest receivers in NFL history in your career. What is it about this guy?
He won't be denied. He won't be denied not one play. This I'm going to tell you, he won't be denied. It's one play in that Redskins game that stood out to me that let me know he won't be denied. Josh Norman had opportunity to get an interception because the ball was kind of thrown inside. I don't know if Antonio Brown should have cut more in. I don't know if Ben was trying to lead him in, but it was a slight communication between the two. He made sure Josh Norman didn't get that interception. Any other receiver, I wouldn't say would give up on coming to the ball or making sure Josh Norman wouldn't get that interception, but Antonio Brown did. So it's the details when you don't have the ball. It's the won't be denied when the ball isn't in my vicinity. You're not getting that either. That's what you gotta love about Antonio Brown. Heck with him getting the ball. We all know what he can do when he get the ball. Is if the ball is in my reach, but I feel like you're more of a threat, I'm going to make sure you don't get that ball. That stood out to me more than any play of that game, talking about Antonio Brown.
There are two plays, two throws I remember from that game that really stood out, and one in particular speaks to the chemistry between Ben Roethlisberger and Antonio Brown. It was a back shoulder toss along the sideline, and that comes from repetition, routine, practice, more practice, and just the natural flow with how it happened was just startling, and they made it look so easy. And the corner was right there, I think number 26, and there was nothing he could do about it. And the other one was the touchdown that was just unbelievable, just in the corner of the end zone, outside toss where only Antonio Brown could get it. The timing, and the thing I'm seeing from Ben Roethlisberger, and correct me if I'm wrong, this guy is becoming, his touch on his throws has become so much better now. He's throwing the ball like Tom Brady. I don't remember always being that accurate of a thrower. Maybe he always was and I didn't notice it. He just seems becoming so much more accomplished as a passer, touch passer now. He doesn't make many bad throws anymore.
Pinot Noir, a Syrah, a Cab, a Marlowe. Man, Ben Roethlisberger getting final with age, man. He just like a wine, man. I mean, between him and Antonio Brown, man, you talking about a marriage. Them boys young, but them boys acting like they've been married on the field for 30 years. Ain't even got to say nothing to each other. Eye contact to eye contact. You know what I'm doing and you know what I'm about to do. That's something special right there. That's a unique relationship between the quarterback and receiver. That's a dynamic duo right there. So it doesn't matter what defense you're in. Antonio Brown knows Big Ben is going to place the ball in a spot to only he can adjust to that ball, regardless on how good the coverage is. Don't get me wrong. Braylon from Washington, he was in coverage. He was in pretty good coverage for the majority of them plays. It's just when you got a quarterback and receiver on the same page, every play just about, it's hard to cover.
It was just, speaking about coverage, a lot of talk. Josh Norman's making all this money, big time cornerback. Why wasn't he on? And we talked about this last week before the game and what we thought might happen. It didn't happen. After the game, he was questioned a lot, obviously, and he did not like it. And basically said, I played the defense that I was told to play. Your thoughts on that? Because Ike Taylor was a guy that when he was going to go up against an Antonio Brown, when he was going to go up against a Chad Ochocinco or Chad Johnson or whatever, when he was going to go up against a Terrell Owens, when he was going to go up against all these people, Ike Taylor was the guy that went into the coach's room and told the coaches, you know what, I'm taking him. And whether they agreed with it or not, that's what was going to happen. Josh Norman, today's generation of cornerback, I did what the coaches told me. Whether he should have been on him or not, whatever. But your thoughts on that now and maybe how the game is evolving in that way? You don't have that type of mano-a-mano, maybe the way it should have been or the way it used to be. Now, when they play the Giants, Odell Beckham Jr., Josh Norman would probably be on him. Why do you think it didn't happen Monday Night Football on Antonio Brown?
I'll tell you this, John. And I got a few coworkers that said he didn't have to travel because it was the scheme of the defense. He was targeted 9 times. Only gave up 2 receptions for 0 yards. See, and 2 of my coworkers didn't play corner. But this is what I am going to say. When you think you're that guy, there is no scheme in that defense.
Right.
You go to the coach. Right. Coach, I feel like I'm a superstar in this league. Antonio Brown is the best receiver in this league.
Right.
The scheme of the defense ain't changing. A cover 3, a cover 2, them zone schemes anyway. So both corners playing the same thing anyway, depending on the formation. So if perception is everything. So you can still be in the scheme of things lining up on Antonio Brown in the same defense. You can still be in the scheme of things lining up against Antonio Brown in a cover 2 or a cover 3. A cover 4 might change. A cover 4 meaning is more of a man-to-man. A 2-man might change really depending on what you and the inside corner got going on. But there ain't nothing but man-to-man. You got help from the safety over top. A 2-man. So you can't hit me with the scheme is what I'm saying, John. You can't hit me. That's what my coaches wanted me to play. Because if I feel like I'm the shutdown corner on this team or this league, John,
Right.
coach ain't telling me that I can't travel. Because if he's telling me I can't travel, he's telling me that I'm not that good to travel.
Right.
It's how I look at it.
And now, back to Huntingdon Bearcat football on the airnetwork.net.
Welcome back here in Huntington. We've got a 14-14 tie here at the half. Cats and Clearfield Bison. Some halftime stats here for you. Clearfield with 4 first downs. Huntington with 7. Clearfield 16 rushes for 23 yards. Huntington 16 rushes for 59. Passing yardage, 98 for the Bison and 90 for the Bearcats. So pretty much even across the board as we look at 121 yards of offense for Clearfield and 149 for the Bearcats. Individually, Huntington, Ian Border, 10 carries for 39 yards and that touchdown in the first quarter. In passing department, Andrew Hootie, 4 completions, 6 attempts, 90 yards. 3 of those completions going to Jarris Warner for 25 yards and 1 for 65 yards to Jonathan Price. On the flip side, when you look at Clearfield, Seth Caldwell, 7 carries, 27 yards and 1 touchdown. Isaac Rummery, 6 carries for 31 yards. Rummery getting it done in the air, 4 completion attempts, that 1 interception to Mikett for 98 yards. Most of his passes being completed to Heichel, 2 for 91, and Lezer, 1 for 10. But Jim, one of the stories that we've got to look at here is, two, I see Clearfield beating Central last week in an emotional football game. But are they playing to the level of their competition? And 2, I only have Ryan Lezer down for 2 touches in that first half, and that's clearly not enough if Clearfield wants to win a football game.
Yeah, that surprises me also. That surprised me that now they targeted Lezer 2 other times. Ian Border knocked the pass down, and I think we had another knockdown that was in Lezer's direction. All in all, he's only run the ball once, right? They handed him
Once.
They switched it, so he's not a factor
No,
yet.
but give Coach Hootie and his whole team credit here, offensively and defensively, for playing an absolutely great half of football, Jim. I mean, on both sides of the ball, getting it done when they needed to, including the late touchdown with 14 seconds left as Clearfield snapped the ball over the punter's head down to the 8-yard line. Ball still running around, and Dylan Newingham ran the ball in from 8 yards out. We're all knotted up at 14-14.
Both teams made a mistake there, special teams. Here's the kickoff. Nice kickoff, deep back to the 4-yard line. Clearfield comes out to the 18, and the kickoff team's all over.
Oh, what a great job. We're going to pick up that number
kick
there. That is Jacob Safko, and let me get number 3 there. It would be Jacob Wagner, a pair of sophomores in on the tackle, and that's great special teams coverage for Huntington.
So a great way to start out the second half. The nice kickoff inside the 10. He got out to the 15-yard line.
That's a 55-yard kickoff by a fullback. That's pretty good. We'll take that.
So Clearfield comes out of the balls on the left hash. It's a tie game, 14-14. Rummery takes a snap, hands it, keeps it. Rummery keeps it up the middle. Gets to the 20-yard line at the 22, gain of 7. Like I say, they're in the first half. Huntington gave them a break on a shank punt. And at 7-7, Clearfield got the touchdown out of it, got the points out of it.
Good job.
And then on the bad snap, break Huntington's able to get points out of it. Because you don't get too many breaks when you're playing a team like Clearfield. 2nd and 3 for Huntington. Handed off Rummery up the middle.
Caldwell.
Caldwell.
He's going to get enough for the first down. And that for Clearfield's 5th first down of the evening, so definitely being offensively challenged here.
Not that many yards on the ground for those teams, is it?
No, well, I mean, in fact, the stat sheet's kind of misleading because, Clearfield actually has more yards rushing individually than they end up doing as a team. That 32-yard loss kind of hurts your rushing yards there when you snap it over the punter's head.
First down and 10, Clearfield at their own 26-yard line. Snap back. Fakes it. Quarterback keep it right. Huntington's all over it. Number 76.
Brian Speck. What a great job on a tackle for loss there. He tried to get outside the containment there. Speck just with one arm kind of drug him down to the ground. And that's going to be a loss all the way back to the 23-yard line. So a 3-yard loss. Nice tackle for loss there by Brian Speck. That'll bring up a second and long situation for Clearfield.
Big situation here for Huntington. If they can get the 3 and out or get them to punt.
And they have played stout defense.
Will start growing, and you'll see it in their play. Snap back. He's looking to throw. He's under pressure. We miss the sack. He slips and falls, fortunately, as he was almost got out of the pocket, slips at the 21-yard line.
And it's still going to be a sack because it's behind the line of scrimmage, so you have to give that sack to Dylan Newingham there at the 21. But and a great job of Huntington just keeping that sucker bottled up. Inside pass rush there by Brady Shope forced him to come inside to the linebackers, and Dylan Newingham making sure he wasn't getting very far at all. And that's another 3-yard loss. And again, as you said, exactly what Huntington needed to do here.
Huntington brings in their nickel back, Glennie, and now they're trying to double up on Leather. He's looking to throw. He's got time. Intercepted at the 30-yard line. 20 by Border. 10. Almost got in. Down to the 6-yard line. Great hands by Ian Border. And the Cats are in business now to go ahead.
Well, and Jim, I'm gonna say that looked like something out of the telegraph category. Rummery stared down Leather. He stared him down coming over the middle, and we have talked about all season long about how instinctive of a linebacker Ian Border is. He followed that ball all the way, intercepted it at the 30, down to the 18-yard line in Huntington. No, actually not. We're down to the 12-yard line, 7-yard line. So that's a 23-yard return for Ian Border on that interception.
Ball's on the right hash, the 7-yard line. We come in motion this way. Border takes the ball up the middle, and Clearfield's all over it at the 6. 2nd down and goal at the 6-yard line for Huntington.
But just what an outstanding read by Border on that time. But again, it's the quarterback getting caught staring down a receiver. And if you've got instinctive linebackers, that's going to hurt you.
Sellers comes in the game for Huntington. Ball's not quite at the 5-yard line. 2nd and goal for the Bearcats. Tie game as we're the first 4 minutes of the second half with Clearfield at 14-14. Snap back. Almost intercepted.
Oh, what a great job.
Took it away. He's in for the touchdown. That went from a pick 6 for Clearfield. Oh, man, there's a flag on the play.
That's going to stink because that was might over fight right there as Glennie whirled that ball away from the defensive back and ran in for the end zone, but we've got a penalty. It was a great play call, an absolute great play call.
Well, that ball hovered just enough.
What's the penalty going to be here as we look and see? But just an outstanding play call as Glennie was able to slip out of the backfield off to the left, off to the Clearfield sideline.
Tay Lynch had a chance to intercept that.
He did. He absolutely did.
If he could have pulled that away from Glennie, but it turns out that Glennie was able to pull it away from him and get into what we thought was going to be a touchdown.
But alas, it'll end up being a 5-yard penalty back to the 10-yard line.
2nd and goal at the 10.
Take those points off the board.
Huntington now going under center with your Bearcat eye. Fake it on the knock. He's looking to roll left. He's got room. He's at the 10, 5. He's diving for the end zone and got the touchdown.
Wow.
He got to the 3. They were bearing down on him, and Andrew Hootie dove for that pylon and hit it.
And Andrew did a good job of flowing to the left and following his block. As Brian Speck was out there, he just kind of put his hand on his back and then just kept going out around and got the angle and kept it. And again, we said Andrew has speed. He's a big kid, 210 pounds, but he can run and he can move, and he just showed it off there in a 10-yard touchdown run. And we'll see here as Timmy Leitner lines up for the extra point, and it is 21-7 or 21-14. Huntingdon with 8:29 to go here in the third quarter. The AirNetwork.net welcomes two-time Super Bowl champion, former Steeler Ike Taylor to our lineup every Wednesday evening from 8 to 9 p.m. on the Ike Taylor Show. Join Ike and sports columnist John Harris, along with current and former NFL players, sports experts, live Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. exclusively on the AirNetwork.net. So, Jim, a 10-yard touchdown run. After they take one off the board, they come back the next play. Bootleg there for Hootie, 10-yard touchdown run, and Huntingdon is out to a surprising 21-14 lead.
Well, it's a game of emotion, and Huntingdon was inspired coming out the second half and put the stops on Clearfield's opening drive of the second half, and then we got the interception we needed. And it's one thing to get the turnovers, now convert them into points. And Huntington's been able to convert 2 turnovers now by Clearfield into 2 touchdowns and now have a 21-14 lead. And we're sort of falling into that mold that we created last week. You get ahead by a touchdown, and we couldn't stop Tyrone. Now we got ahead by touchdown over Clearfield.
This game just has a different feel to it in the fact that Tyrone was building up a lot of offensive, running the ball up the middle, wide receiver comebacks and whatever. I think the defense is kind of stymied the Clearfield offense right now, and that's not what happened last week.
There's the kickoff low. It's bouncing around at the 25, picked by an up back by number 16, Steven Sawyer. He gets it out to the 36-yard line. First down, Clearfield. A lot of football to be played. You got to remind those guys there's a lot of football to be played. Learn how to play with the lead. 21-14 Huntingdon over Clearfield. Clearfield, 36-yard line. Clearfield has the ball to own 36. Ball's on the right hash. A wide slot out here with Micah Heichel in the slot wide. Quarterback's going to keep it. Rummery's going nowhere. He did the read.
Yeah, and that's just a great, outstanding effort by the defensive line for Huntingdon. Landon Fisher and, let me see, you get this number, Owen Kaufman on the tackle. Once again, Huntington's defensive line did a great job against Tyrone last week. And, again, showing up well tonight.
There was Owen Kaufman on the stop there. He's at nose right now for the Bearcats. Second down and 9 for Clearfield. Double slot. Rummery hands it off. And Huntington's ahead him. Ooh, Rummery's running with some...
That's Caldwell.
Caldwell's running with some with an attitude there. He broke 2 tackles there for a 3-yard gain, turned it into an 8-yard gain.
He's going to get his yards. There's no doubt about that. He's that type of running back. Caldwell is.
Third down and 2 for the Bison. Ball still on the right hash at their own 44-yard line. They now have the fullback in the game, McGonigal. They're going to follow McGonigal up there. We got him right at the line of scrimmage. It started with Dean Border.
It started with Dylan Newingham. Yeah, it was. I actually thought that was Dylan Newingham, but it might have been Border that got in there. It was Border that got in there, got that hand on him.
Slowed him down. Slowed him down. Got there. And for Huntington, number 60, Landon Fisher is part of that takedown also.
Yep. Now.
Hey.
Now what are you doing?
Yeah. Now I'm looking at Timmy. I'm looking at Timmy right now. It's 4th and 2. And here's where Timmy can get himself into trouble. Tim Janoko, the Clearfield coach.
You start to gamble a little bit here.
He's the riverboat gambler. Snap back, hand it off up the middle. He got the first down. And we got a flag.
And
And this is what he did 8 years ago.
Illegal shift on Clearfield, so that'll be a 5-yard penalty. And I mean, now you got to punt.
Now
And he's sending in the punting unit now. I was going to say, now you have to punt. You don't have that choice. 4th penalty on Clearfield for 30 yards.
I'll tell you what, as the game goes on, Jimmy gets madder and madder. You don't want to be on that sideline.
You know, Jimmy's got a lot to be mad about at this point in time. You know, his team has not played, at least up to expectation is what we thought they were going to.
Well, this is 4th down and 7. And it's still, you got to be telling your guys, be always awake for fakes. High snap, he does get it, he punts it. It's short, it's going to come down at the 35, 33, goes out of bounds at the 30, and the Bearcats will take over.
It's like at their own 29-yard line, 1st and 10 for Huntington.
Now they got the big stop right there. You scored, and now you stop Clearfield. And as the game goes on, the confidence starts building.
Jim, here's a stat for you. When you're talking about stats and defense, I have Clearfield down for 1 of 6 on 3rd down conversions. That's big.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge stat in this ball game. You know, and again, credit to the Huntington football team playing exactly the game they need to be to put themselves in contention to win this.
Ball's on the 29. Hootie got nothing there. He was trying to follow Border up the middle, but there was a wall of white jerseys there for Clearfield. Number 71 for Clearfield was part of that tackle, Hunter Bumbarder.
21-14 your score here. 5:47 left to go. 3rd quarter. Bearcats out in front. They're 2nd and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
We got Warner's out right here as a flanker on the tight end side. We got slot to the other side. Border on the belly to the left side. And he gets about 3.
He's going to get about 3. Just keep waiting for him to break one. He's doing a lot of sifting there. If you saw, he extended his left hand out in the middle of his full back and just trying to see what's up ahead of me. But unfortunately, there ends up being a lot of
following Bryant Speck on that.
A lot of white shirts on that. He just can't pop that one that he has been able to. Border now 12 carries, 44 yards, and that lone touchdown coming in the 1st quarter. 3rd down and 7.
Ball's on the left hash for Huntington. You got slot right, Borders on the right side in the backfield. Low snap. Hootie roll right. He scrambles. He got away from one tackler, and he finally goes down back at the original line of scrimmage. And it's going to bring up 4th and 7 as Huntington will punt the ball back.
Hootie's slow to get up here. And that's not good news for the Bearcats as he is down on one knee here and a couple referees, and then now he just sits back down and rolls to his back. So we're going to have a injury timeout here. Here in the 3rd quarter, as Andrew Hootie is having a little bit of trouble getting back up.
Referees are taking advantage of this action and get everybody some water. So go ahead and take it away.
Look for our weekly Bearcat football trivia question in the 3rd quarter each week on the airnetwork.net Facebook page. Answer the question correctly and we'll award you that week's prize. Listen to Win in the 3rd quarter for Bearcat trivia only on the airnetwork.net. Now, if I remember correctly, and I have done my homework and given my homework correctly to Greg back in the studio, tonight's question is, there have been 2 300-yard rushing games in the storied history of Bearcat football. All you got to do is name one of them, but there have been 2 guys that have rushed for over 300 yards. I remember both of them. I thank Jim for having the ability to be able to be the stat guy for both of those suckers, too, but there have been 2. All you got to do is name one. Again, go to the airnetwork.net Facebook page and submit your answer. We'll see what we get.
Well, we got a punting situation, and Andrew Hootie won't be punting the ball.
He is slow getting up, so I see who they end up having up here as at a quarterback situation. Do we have another guy over here, too? In the near sideline here near us? Is that Border was just looks like down doing something. I'm not sure what that was, but somebody down here tying their shoe. Yeah, somebody's doing their shoe. It's an equipment exchange there. Weglars. Looks like Drew Weglars is going to do the punting
here. Border will protect them. We got two wideouts going to be covering this. So Drew, second punter with Hootie on the sideline. Good snap. Drew punts. He got a decent one off. Going to bounce at their 40 and go out of bounds at their 40. Cleveland. Yeah, now you got me saying Cleveland.
It's hard. Hey, we do our best here, guys.
I'll think about those Cleveland Indians. How about them Indians?
Woo, baby. They are doing good. It's a 28-yard punt by Weglar, so not as good as it kind of looked. He does have some more hang time than what Andrew does, but nonetheless, Clearfield's going to take
Clearfield has it
over.
at their own 41-yard line. Ball's on the right hash. They come out trips here to the wide side, and on the island is Lezer, and we're not doubling him. He's looking to pass over the middle. Going back, we might have an interception. Oh, he had it.
Great pass break up by
Wagner
Jonathan Price.
came off when the ball was in the air. He came off of Lezer.
That was Jonathan Price there with the pass break up, I believe. Yep, number 2, Jonathan Price.
I thought that was a 3. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 2. And he did exactly what you're supposed to do as a quarterback. Turned his head and found the ball and leaped up and almost came down with that interception.
Well, he was on Lezer, and the ball was floated out down the middle of the field.
Lezer started out hot, Jim. Through his first 4 completions, he had 101 yards. Now through 12 completions, he's only got 98. So he's kind of going the other way. 4 completions, 98 yards, and a pair of picks. Isaac Rummery, I'm sorry. 4 completions.
Second down.
A pair of picks there.
Rummery on a reverse. And Lezer's got room to run. 45, trying to get to the 50. We run him out of bounds.
Close to a 9-yard pickup for Lezer.
He is going to be about a yard short of the first down. Yeah, the ball is right on the 50, and first down marker is...
And this might be what Coach Janoko is going to have to think about doing to get the ball in his hands, because clearly they're trying to hit those slants with Lezer, even the deep ball. And Huntington's taking that away. They're doing a great job of taking that away and saying, you're going to have to beat us on the ground. And that's Lezer's second carry for 6 yards, so they've got to get him more involved in the offense.
Okay, Ryan Lezer now is on the short side of the field. A more compact tight end situation here. Up the middle is number 3, Caldwell. Gets the first down, gets into Huntington territory at the 45, a gain of 5. And it's first down Clearfield at Huntington's 45-yard line. We got 3:50 left in the third period. Bearcats leading 21-14. 3:40 left in the third period. First down Clearfield, now the ball in the left hash. And Heichel is flanked to the right. Hand off up the middle again. And this time, it's number 7.
Andrew Finkel coming up from the safety spot, along with Owen Kaufman on the stop there. 5-yard pickup for Caldwell.
I'll tell you what, those 2s and 7s look alike. I think those Clearfield numbers.
You call the plays, I'll call the numbers. How about we do that? We'll be just fine.
Second down and 5 at the 40-yard line. Now we double up on Lezer here on the left side. They're going to roll away from Lezer to the right side. Quarterback's going to keep it. He's got 6 yards and a first down to the 34-yard line.
Just enough.
Quarterback Isaac Rummery.
Yep, Dylan Newingham, nice stop, and Owen Kaufman again in on the stop. It'll be a 6-yard gain, though, for Rummery and a first down for Clearfield. That's their 7th first down of the evening.
With that sweep to the right.
Yep.
With that sweep to the right, the ball's now going to be on the hash mark on the right side.
2:55 to go, third quarter.
And they come out with a slot to the wide side and a slot to the short side where Lezer is on the short side. He's looking to throw. He's throwing his slant. He's got his man, Heichel, at the 28-yard line. Or Tay Lynch. Yeah, Tay Lynch on the slant.
It's an 8-yard pickup.
Approaching 2:20 left in the third period. Gain of 7, second down and 3 for Clearfield. Timmy's got that worried look over there.
He should.
Chinoco. Second down and 3. Ball's near the left hash. A double slot. Snap back, fakes it. He's going to look to throw. He's going to throw to Lezer. We got him covered. Knocked down by number 2 is Price.
And we might have offensive pass interference on this. I want to see this because Price was turned. No, it's Finkel. That was Finkel. Or no, Price. But Price turned around and was looking at it. But Lezer was pulling on his jersey and pulling him back. So we might have offensive pass interference here on Lezer. And that's exactly what we're going to have. That's offensive pass interference.
3, that's going to knock them back on that offense. And Lezer might be having he's getting frustrated.
And that is a huge penalty against Clearfield right now, Jim.
Noah checks in. And checking out for Huntington is
that is a 15-yard penalty. So and they're going to move the ball where they were at the 27-yard line, and it's going to go all the way back to the Clearfield 41. So
2nd and 15 now. Huntington now in a nickel defense. They're in a newbie backfield. There's nobody in the backfield. They're showing 5 receivers. 3 on one side, 2 the other. Quarterback draw, and he's got some running room. To the 30. The 35, first down. 30, 25. And he's in. He's out of bounds at the 3. So what they did there was just spread the field out, showing 5 receivers, but as a quarterback draw all the way. Quarterback draw all the way for Isaac Rummery.
It's a 38-yard pickup on a 2nd and 17.
He was pushed out at the 4-yard line. Good call there. They had us thinking pass, and he just went with a quarterback draw. And what you do is you spread the defense out. And one thing I was going to mention early on in the game, knowing that they like to spread. He wants you to reset the. Oh, there it is. Okay. 1st and goal at the 4. The one thing I was going to mention early in the game with the spread offense, you got to be able to tackle in space. And that's the challenge. Up the middle, Caldwell is brought down at the 2 and maybe the 1. But when you're up against a spread team, you got to be able to tackle in space. And we start running the spread against Chestnut Ridge one year in the playoffs. And once we went to the second period and start running the spread, got out of the eye, that's when their coach said, I knew we were in trouble because we don't tackle in space well. 2nd down and goal for Clearfield. Takes it, hands it off again up the middle, and it's a touchdown for Seth Caldwell. And they're an extra point away from tying this game up.
So the 1-yard plunge there by Caldwell gives him 53 yards and 2 touchdowns on the evening. And that Chestnut Ridge game, if I remember correctly, wasn't John O'Corn your quarterback in that game?
Yep.
I thought so.
Yeah, we basically went power against in the first period and got frustrated. Well, let's go to the spread. And once we went to the spread, Coach Shoemaker, the extra point is good. Ties the ball game up with that extra point. 1:12 left in the 3rd period. It's Huntington 21, Clearfield 21.
Thanks to Huntington Moose Family Center, number 223, Brenneman's Meat Markets, Penn Highlands Community College, Huntington Campus, D.C. Goodman's and Sons and the Goodman family, the Huntington County Drop-In Center, and the Ike Taylor Show for presenting Bearcat football this season on the airnetwork.net. And just a shout-out to all of you that are listening out there and giving us the positive encouragement for this initial season of Bearcat football on the airnetwork.net. We greatly appreciate it. Again, you can listen to the rebroadcast tonight at 11 p.m. And look for it on our front page on our podcast tab. Listening anytime, anywhere on the airnetwork.net, as I know that I've got a real good dear friend of mine up in Maine, Roger Briggs, who's listening to us on the radio. So the great thing about listening to us on the internet is you can pick it up anywhere. So thanks a lot for tuning in to Bearcat football. 1:12 to go here in the 3rd quarter, 21-21 the score.
You want to talk anywhere? I was doing the Juniata game. And one of the counselors up at Juniata College was on a field trip in China. He was bored one Saturday afternoon, and he picked up Juniata, and I think it was Gettysburg a year ago at Juniata. So worldwide.
Yeah, it's worldwide. from sea to shining sea and everything beyond is what we can say, Jim.
Well, Clearfield's getting ready to kick off.
And the good thing is I just want my buddy Roger to bring me back a lobster for making sure he knows. Yeah.
Again, a little pop-up kick at the field at the 30.
He'll stay
down at the 32. And
once the knees go down, you're down.
Andrew Finkel caught the ball on one knee to make sure he had it. But again, we get decent field position at the 32-yard line. They did not want to kick it deep to Price or Glenny. Hootie been dealing with the leg issues all evening. Jogs back on the field.
Yeah, I saw they were warming up Weglars down there a little bit, so I'm going to stick with him. He is a tough cookie. He is a competitor.
First down, Huntington at their own 32-yard line. We got slot to the short side of the field. Andrew's going to hand it off the border at the short side on the belly. Nothing, and geez.
Wow, that flag flew from 20 yards back, so it'll be interesting to see where that came from.
I think he threw that from the rest.
He did. I'm not sure what he saw on that. Border on the carry, but we'll see where this ends up going here.
That couldn't be anything on defense. Huntington's backing up. So it is second down and
illegal block in the back, maybe?
11, or do they take it back then?
He's taking it back from. That's a spot foul. So it's that's a 12-yard penalty, is what that ends up being. Tomorrow you are at Gettysburg, Juniata College versus Gettysburg, correct?
Yep. Juniata comes into the game with a 2-0 record. So now it's first, and what'd you say, about 23, isn't it?
Yeah. You're at the 20.
23. Huntington ball's on the left half. Border is on the right side of Andrew Hootie. They fake it. No, they double reverse. Back to Glenny. Up the middle. He's got room to run. He's out to the 40, 45. First down, Bearcats.
What a great play call, Jim. Just an outstanding play call.
They handed off to Border, and they flew to the right, Clearfield's right side, and then Border back to Glenny on the double reverse.
That's a 24-yard pickup for Noah Glenny. And a first down for Huntington exactly when they needed to have it.
So a first and 23, we get 24, and the ball comes out to the 44-yard line. First down, Huntington, ball's on the left hash. We got tight end trips to the right side with the wing. Hootie, pump fakes. Now he's going to throw deep. And it's one-on-one down there. Good coverage. It was two per Price. Tay Lynch on the breakup. Good coverage by Lynch.
Good coverage, but good protection by the Huntington offensive line there as Andrew had time to set up and throw that pass.
Well, Andrew gave you a little pump fake, hoping to draw Lynch up. And then throw it out to the one-on-one.
The last couple of weeks we've seen Huntington have trouble with the defensive line, and Andrew not really having much time to throw the ball. Tonight, he's able to step into some throws and get the ball downfield like he needed to.
I think Huntington needs to drink some pickle juice. There's a lot of cramps out there.
On a night you wouldn't think so.
Uh-oh. The shuffle pass.
That's an incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass. Drop by our halfback.
Just as well, because that would have been for a loss. So
second down and 10 for Huntington. Second down, 10 for Huntington at their own. As the quarter is going to, it's incomplete. It's going to stop in 5 seconds. Third quarter is coming. This will be the last play of the
that'll bring up a third down as two incomplete passes
checks
there.
Back into the lineup for Weglars.
Yep.
Third and 10.
Third and 10.
Tie game, 21-21. Last play of the third quarter. Low snap. Hootie's in trouble. He scrambles out of there and got the room to run to the 50, 49-yard line. And it's going to be 4th and 4. Please punt.
And that will end the third quarter. And your score at War Vets Field, Huntington Bearcats 21 and the Cleveland Bison 21. You are listening to Chad States and Jim Zauzig and Bearcat Football on the airnetwork.net.
The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 is the heart of the community, serving Huntingdon for over 100 years. In addition to all the fun events our members enjoy throughout the year, the Moose family donated over $50,000 to local charities last year. Become a member of the Moose today and join the Women of the Moose on Saturday, September 17th for our breakfast and bake sale from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Then on Saturday, September 25th, get set to enjoy Quarter Stick with great classic rock from 8 to 11 p.m. Become a member of the Huntingdon Moose today. It's the best value in town.
D.C. Goodman and Sons and the Goodman family are committed and dedicated to excellence by supporting quality education and athletics for all youth of Huntingdon County. For over 3 generations, D.C. Goodman and Sons and their staff of quality tradesmen have provided excellent service in the installation of plumbing, mechanical and industrial piping, electrical, and fire sprinkler systems. Residential services are also available. D.C. Goodman and Sons and the Goodman family will continue to serve the community, and thank you for your support. The Goodman family wishes you the best to all area students in your pursuit of excellence. Now back to more Bearcat football exclusively on the airnetwork.net.
Oh, I think they're going to try to fall off.
Make sure you don't move here. Yep, timeout Huntington. Welcome back. War Vets Field, your score 21-21. Huntington lined up and tried to get Clearfield to jump and see if they could pick up a 5-yard penalty, but to no avail. It's 4th down, and Huntington will now look to punt. And
Well,
get the ball back to the Bison.
situation, that might work when you get emotionally involved. But you had a change of a quarter there, and now the Clearfield coach is saying, okay, beware of anything here.
Yep.
Don't let them draw you offside. Now, you get in a different situation where there's a little more emotion involved. That's when you get people to jump.
Right. Absolutely. You had time to settle down coming out of the quarter change to make sure that, nothing was happening there. But nonetheless, it'll be 4th down.
I just hate to think that timeout will hurt.
Drew Weglar's again stepping out here to do the punting, and that must mean that there is some sort of an injury here to Andrew Hootie. I mean, he's in playing quarterback, it's fine, but precautionary reasons we're going to put Weglar's in. But Weglar's really not doing a great job punting here. You don't want to say that about any kid, but 23 yards on his first punt and 28 yards on his second. And, he's in dire need of getting off a good one here at the 50-yard line.
There's a snap. Ball's on the 50. Weglar's punt.
And
it's high. They're going to let it go, and it doesn't go out of bounds. Kicks at the 22, goes down to the 15.
Good punt. Just when he needed it, he got it.
Yep. So Clearfield will take over at their own 16-yard line in a tie ball game as we start the 4th quarter, 21-21.
34-yard punt for Weglars. Pins him in. It looks like you're going to spot this ball at the 16-yard line. Clearfield will take over. And we keep saying Cleveland, Clearfield, but Jim, we view that as the same thing. We're Steeler fans. We call Cleveland a mistake by the lake, and I guess we'll call Clearfield we'll call Clearfield the same thing. Why? Because we're on the Bearcat Radio Network. That's why we can do that. But yes,
ball's on a 16. Clear. Now you got me thinking.
There you go.
They're going to double up on Lesnar. No, they're not. He's rolling left to the wide side. Rummery can't find room, and he's tracked down by Huntington.
Yeah, it's going to be. I want to look and see that number. It looks like. Yep, Drew Weglar's coming in from his linebacker position. Great job of dropping him for a loss there.
Yeah, actually, he came in from the strong safety position.
Yeah, it's going to be a 3-yard.
Try to sweep to the wide side, and he just could not find a seam to get upfield.
It's a 3-yard loss for Rummery. Rummery 13 carries, 74 yards on the ground. Another 106 through the air.
Second and long, Huntington quickly gets to their nickel defense, anticipating a throw. Border's going to blitz. They get rid of the ball, completed at the 20-yard line. Good throw by Rummery to Heichel. And
7-yard pass play.
And it's a 7-yard pass play. Like you said, it's 3rd and 5. A little more than 5, 5.5.
Makes it a little bit more manageable.
5.5. 21-21, 10:40 left. Big 3rd down play. We want to try to maintain some field position here. Ball's on the left hash for Clearfield. They got slot to the wide side. Rummery takes it. He's looking to throw out here, and he almost picked off.
Wow.
Great defensive play by Price.
And again,
he made a break on the ball.
I think part of the problem with them getting the ball to Lezer is Rummery is staring him down every single time. Price made a great, outstanding athletic play there to be able to break up that pass. Again, they're pinpointing when they want to throw it to Lezer, and that makes your job as a defensive back or any defensive person easy when you can see where the quarterback's throwing the ball.
Well, the big thing is Price made a break on the ball.
He
wasn't going to stay back. You worry about high school secondary guys afraid to make a play on the ball. It's 4th down for Clearfield. Running back to Price. It's going to bounce right at the 50-yard. He's going to catch it at the 50. He cuts through 2 people at the 40. He gets to the 37, but he made a nice move in between 2 tacklers at the 50-yard line and got another 13 yards before being brought down at the 7-yard line, and Huntington has field position.
16-yard punt return for Jonathan Price on that, and again, to get the ball into Clearfield territory. 10-16 left to go in a tie ball game here. We'll see if we can get I think Border's due to break one. I think we're due to break one here on the ground. You just kind of smell it.
I'm with you on that. I think he's going to break one here. There's no safeties back here. They're in their cover 0. Fake it to him. He's going to throw over the middle. Incomplete. And a good defensive play. And there's number,
It was Lynch on
Lynch on the break. A lot of times, and I'm seeing Juniata doing a lot of this, and it's Coach Gibney's coaching up her. Make a break on the ball. Don't be afraid. Most times you're going to break it up. Every now and then they may make a great catch and go in for a touchdown, but 2 out of 3 things that happen on a pass are good when you're on defense. An incompletion or an interception.
Hootie 4 of 9 for 90 yards tonight.
Out to Warner. He breaks the tackle at the 35, can't get to the 30 as he's hit hard by number 3, Seth Tall.
Warner on the reception. Good blocking there by Sellers. Be able to spring him for about 6.
And we're in 4-down territory here. You're at the 32 now. 3rd down and 5 at the 32-yard line at Clearfield. And with the clock running down, you may, if you get some yardage here, it could be a 4-down territory here. Sort of in that gray area. Ball's on the right hash. Slot left. Hootie's quarterback draw. He went up inside, and he cannot get upfield. He bounced it to the left, to the wide side, and then he tried to outrun people to the sideline and got tripped up at the 35-yard line. Now you are in that area. I'd punt it here.
I agree. You're at the 35-yard line. You got a chance to punt it deep, to pin them in, to give them a long field, and they're not going to. But I agree. I would give them as long a field as possible here in this situation.
Well, this is what I was looking at earlier.
Yep.
They got it down.
It's down in distance, and you got to look at where you're at.
2, I'd go for it.
Right. But here,
now it's 4th and 9. And I'm not in tune with this. 4th down and 9. We got a slot to the left side. He gives it the border up the middle. He gets 2 yards, and that's about it.
And not quite sure why you don't go ahead and try and punt that deep. Even if it gets in the end zone, you're going to give him at the 20. Now you're going to spot the ball up here at the 33-yard line. So you've got a net of 13 at the least. And again, punt the football, live to play another day.
Yep. Long football field. 3-8 long football fields.
2-yard gain for Border. Border 13 carries 46 yards and a touchdown tonight.
All right, we're looking at 8.5 minutes left in the ball game. 21-21. Clearfield now has the ball. Hand it off. Rummery hands it off. Caldwell, and he keeps his feet. And he's off to the races down the left side. We run him down behind by Andrew Finkel at the 30-yard line. We tripped him up at the 50, and it was a matter of him keeping his balance, and he did at the 50 and took it down to the 40, down to the 31-yard line. And the one thing we were hoping for Border to do, Caldwell just did.
That's a 36-yard carry for Caldwell and a first down for Clearfield.
First down at the 31-yard line of Huntington. And once again, the Bearcat defense going to tighten down the bolts here. Ball's on the left hash. We're 2 over 2 here on the wide side of the field. 2 in the backfield. Hands it off to his fullback. And he got McGonigal got 1 carry in the first half, and he'll get his 1 carry in the second half. And try to keep the family off of the coach. 2nd down and 10.
No gain.
Tim, I'd go back to your weapons. So 2nd down and 10. Again, Huntington comes in with their nickel defense with Glennie coming in and a big lineman coming out.
Clearfield with 250 yards of offense, 113 of that pass.
We got 4 on the line of scrimmage. He fakes it, and Rummery tries to keep it, and he's hit right away by Alex Mikett. And then also for Huntington is number 60, Landon Fisher. So Mikett cleared down. You try to tell those ends to get to the mesh point. Get to the mesh point where the ball is put in that running back's belly.
Yep.
And basically go after the that mesh point. And it makes it tough for him to read. Does he hand it off? Does he keep it? And now it's 3rd and 10 for Clearfield. And Timmy Janoko probably feels that he's in 4-down territory. 3rd and 10 at the 30 of Huntington. Clearfield takes a snap. Rummery looking. He's under pressure.
Oh, great.
Again, Ian Border knocked it down. Ian came untouched from his left outside linebacker, and he tried to throw over here to Lezer, and Ian knocked it down. He almost put the ball back in his face.
Absolutely. It was almost like a volleyball block on that one.
The Kimbe Mutombo block.
Yep.
And now it's 4th and 10.
He came flying in, both arms up in the air, and
Timmy Janoko is not punting this. 4th and 10.
I don't think this is the game that Timmy Janoko thought he would be in this evening.
We're showing 5 receivers. He's looking to throw. Down the middle. He's got his man. Touchdown.
Micah Heichel, 31-yard touchdown.
On 4th and 10, they spread the defense out, tried to spread your safeties out, and then Heichel could run down the middle of the field, and he outran his matchup. The one thing I talked to defensive coach John Mikett was one thing he was worried about was there's certain matchups out there that really bothered him. And there was a matchup. And the touchdown for Clearfield now puts them up by a touchdown at 27-21, pending this field goal or extra point here. Snap back. It's down. And it's up and it's good. So with 6:03 left in the ball game, Clearfield was down by a touchdown here earlier, but now go ahead by a touchdown. Huntington 21, Clearfield 28 with 6:33 left.
Yep. TheAirNetwork.net welcomes 2-time Super Bowl champion, former Steeler Ike Taylor to our lineup every Wednesday evening from 8 to 9 p.m. on The Ike Taylor Show. Join Ike and sports economist John Harris, along with current and former NFL players and sports experts, live every Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock, exclusively on TheAirNetwork.net. So now we're out to a 28-21 lead for Clearfield. Again, as Jim said, 6:33 left to go in the ball game, so still plenty of time to go. Huntington has played very, very well in this ball game. Still, I guess, kind of scratching my head as to why we didn't punt there. It's 13 extra yards at the minimum that you could have had back, and maybe a little bit extra time. You never know what can happen within that.
Our
frame, but
aren't that strong, so they could have punted that ball inside of 15, inside of 10. And but as a result, Clearfield marches down the field and gets to 6 at 7, and it's 28-21. Huntington next week will travel over to Penns Valley to play a much improved Penns Valley team. Penns Valley lost to Clearfield 2 weeks ago, 21-7. So under Coach Tobias, they seem to be rebounding right now at Penns Valley.
And that's good for Coach Tobias. He's a good guy.
Yes, he is.
Real good guy.
They are going to kick it deep, back down to Price at the 11. Price finding the seam and nothing but white jerseys at the 20-yard line.
So a 9-yard kickoff return, and Huntington will set up shop at their own 20-yard line. Scores around the area: State College 38, Mifflin County 0. throw. That game is in the third, probably into the fourth by this time. In the fourth, in the battle over at Williamsburg, Juniata Valley 22, Williamsburg 20. Williamsburg coming into that game undefeated, I believe, which is the first time in a long time that they can say that for the Blue Pirates over there. So 22-20, Juniata Valley leading
Musser,
Williamsburg.
Go get him, Billy. Be a nice win for Bill if he can get this. Hand off the border to the wide side. He breaks a tackle almost again. Again, Clearfield rolls the dice defensively. They don't have any safety. They bring those safeties up almost to the linebacker level. And like you said, if Border could just get one, he gets to the linebacker level for 8 yards. But if he can break a tackle at that linebacker
he's
level.
Well below his average. 14 carries, 53 yards tonight. And that lone touchdown coming on a second carry in the first quarter. So Clearfield doing a good job of bottling him up, so to speak. But you're just sniffing at it. One of these times that's gonna pop, and it's 6:03 left to go. You want it to pop now, I guess, before time runs out. But
when he was tackled there, they tackled by the ankle, pulled the leg a little bit. He limped off. Checking with trainer Dan right now. So Border's not in the lineup. Fake handoff. Hootie looking to throw. He's scrambling out of trouble. He gets rid of it. Good job of overthrowing his receiver.
Well, as soon as he came out of rolling out there, and he's a little bit slow to get up here too, but as soon as he came out of rolling out, he did a good job of just rifling that ball off to the sidelines. You got to get rid of it in that situation. Yeah. There's no play there to be had. The right thing to do is to throw the ball away, and that's oftentimes what you see out of developing quarterbacks is knowing when to hold them and knowing when to fold them. When you talk about what they need to do with the football, Andrew with the right decision there and making sure they didn't try to force a play, throw it out of bounds. Let's move on to third down and short here and see what we get.
3rd and 2. Border still on the sideline right now. 3rd down and 2. Got one running back on the right side. Fake it. Hootie trying to get upfield. He cannot get to that 30-yard line, and it's going to be 4th down.
And you almost have to go for it. But, with Andrew limping, I'm not sure that I guess you're going to punt here. But with Andrew limping, I'm not sure why you don't hand that ball off to Glennie or to Border in that situation. But nonetheless, it'll bring up a 4th down.
He is in the game now, but he wasn't in on that last down. But I give it to Glennie. I'd give it to Glennie with his speed. Anyways, it's 4th and 1. Nobody deep. Punt formation. We are punting to hangs it up high. Better get a roll. There was nobody deep for Clearfield. They kept all 11 up there. And the ball it's going to be Clearfield ball at their own 41, 42-yard line.
27-yard punt.
Just under 5 minutes left in the game.
Again, listen to tonight's game on the airnetwork.net at 11 p.m. And also look for each Bearcat football game on our front page and under podcast tab for on-demand listening anytime online at the airnetwork.net. 28-21 your score, 4:57 left to go here in the fourth quarter.
42-yard line. Ball's on the right hash. They're going to split end hit. 2 men in the backfield. They're going to follow McGonigal up the middle. He gets to the 46. Caldwell following McGonigal. And right now, Tim Janoko, Clearfield, is elected to work on the clock a little bit with that 7-point lead. 2nd down and 6 for Clearfield. The ball's in the middle of the field now. They come out. 2 in the backfield. McGonigal at fullback on the right side of the quarterback, and he's going to wait for that clock to get down about 3. Hand it off to Caldwell again. Huntingdon stops him right at the line of scrimmage, and it's 3rd down.
Owen Kaufman having a nice game there as he's in on that lone tackle.
And I'm not sure, but that timeout used in the opening part of the second half could be a timeout we may need. Huntingdon has 2 timeouts left. We're now under 4 minutes left. tight end went out of the game for Clearfield, so they may come out here with a spread. They come out double slot with the running back in the back, one running back. He's going to handle a double reversal, wide side, and he's to the 50. We bring him down at the 48, but he does have the first down.
He will be right at that marker. Oh,
The
they're gonna
flanker
get it by
on the
a
right
yard.
side here. Yeah, they're going to get it by a yard. The double reverse gets that ball to the Huntington 48-yard line.
Needed 6, got 7.
Exactly. Now 3:18 left. The clock now definitely becomes a factor. You're just hoping you stop them there and force them to punt. And now Mike may be in a situation to use his 2 timeouts during this series. A lot depends on what happens on first down. The clock is now approaching 3 minutes left. And the quarterback, again, he's just going to sit there, Rummery, with the play clock at 7 seconds. 5, and now snap the ball. Up the middle, Caldwell, 1 yard. And Mike's going to use his timeouts right now.
As well, he needs to. Yep. It's time to start. I mean, you can't leave those on the board. Join us on Monday, September 12th, which won't be September 12th because now it'll be Monday, September 19th, for another season of Monday Night Sports Talk at 7 p.m. on theairnetwork.net. Join myself along with Greg Banks, Dave Shannon, and Jimmy Ty while we discuss the Steelers, Penguins, Pirates, Pittsburgh Panthers, Penn State, Nittany Lions, and more from the world of sports each week exclusively here on theairnetwork.net. So, Jim, we're now down to 2:51 left to go. Huntington taking their second time out of the ball game. They've got of the half. They've got one more to go.
And that's where I said that other time actually.
Yep, that's exactly right.
You have to assume you stop them. So you use it at the end of the first down, second down, and third down, and make them punt. And
Tyrone in control, or not Tyrone, but Clearfield kind of in control of their own destiny here. I'm sure they're not going to be passing at all. Just keep this ball in the hands of Rummery and Caldwell and chew up some clock.
They come out with double tight end now. They're showing run. Play clock. Quarterback Rummy's keeping left. Gets to the 45, brought down for a 2-3 yard gain.
And a good job.
Rummery is smart enough to stay in
absolutely.
bounds.
I was going to say a great job of just ducking and staying right in bounds to make Huntington burn another timeout here.
Huntington's going to call their final timeout on 3rd down and 7 for Clearfield. He's running to the Clearfield sideline. I'm sure Tim's yelling. Janoko is yelling, stay in bounds, even if you go down. So 2:40 left. Huntington's out of timeouts. We're down a touchdown at 28-21 to Clearfield.
I think Rummery might have watched a little of that Dallas game where the guy didn't run out of bounds and didn't allow them to be able to, to Dallas to do anything. And Rummery, being a smart football player that he is, even as a sophomore, staying in bounds, making Huntington burn that timeout.
Yeah, professional athletes are professional athletes. That doesn't mean they're smarter.
No, and at the end of the day, all it does is mean that he's richer because regardless of the mistake he made, he still got paid. Yeah. So,
All right, 3rd down and 6. Obviously, if Huntington's going to have a shot here, they need to.
This is a big stop.
Force a 4th down here.
Well, even as such, I wouldn't be surprised if they went for it on 4th down, too.
They come out with a double tight end. With the wing on the left, flanker on the right, one back in the backfield. Rummery, he's going to hand it off to Caldwell, off the middle. And he's got the first down and he's off. He's gone. He broke through that linebacker level, and with everybody's up in that box trying to stop this 3rd down and 7. There's nobody left, and Rummery goes all the way 45 yards for a touchdown for Clearfield. Ouch. That hurts.
That's probably
left.
The backbreaker there at that point in time.
Clearfield up with their 5th touchdown. Huntington has 3 touchdowns. And that makes it 35-21. Extra point. Looks good. It is good. So with 2:33 left in the ball game, Clearfield 35, Huntington 21. And you got to preach to them. You finish with pride here.
That's right.
You never
Finish with your
know.
head high.
You never know. You get Glennie or Price, a breakaway, onside kick. You're 2 touchdowns down. You got to keep it in their heads with a shot here.
Thanks, Huntington Moose Family Center, number 223. Brenneman's Meat Markets, Penn Highlands Community College, Huntington Campus, D.C. Goodman's and Sons and the Goodman family, Huntington County Drop-In Center, and the Ike Taylor Show for presenting Bearcat football this season on the airnetwork.net. Teams getting ready to line up here for the kickoff. See if Clearfield even decides to kick it deep, Jim. They might just pooch us up in the middle and let it kind of float out there.
Well, they've been pooching that thing to the left wing or the right wing of our kickoff return people. And Alan Stoker tried to do that to me about 30 years ago when I was coaching at Tyrone. And I just snuck Scotty Hoover right up the middle of the field. He didn't see it. They pooched it right to Scott, who was an all-conference player, and Scott ran 70 yards to tie the game with no time on the clock. He's going to walk up to the ball and a squib kick right to
Finkel at the 25.
But Finkel can't get vertical upfield. They stopped at the 30-yard line.
So now, Jim, you run the wing T offense. We know that it's not a quick strike offense, but you've got to have quick strikes. What are you looking at doing here?
Well, 2.5 minutes left. You got to work your way down the field with the shorter stuff. Don't try to we need to throw 3 long passes to try to tie the game up. Go to the shorter stuff because they are going to back off a little bit. Yeah, see, those safeties are backing off a little bit before. There's Border sweep left. He just can't cross the 30-yard line. And the issue with that is when you run the ball, the clock's running.
That's right.
And right now the clock's running.
Which is your enemy at this point in time. No gain on the play. And Border well below his average of about 130 yards a game. He has 15 carries, 53 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Huntington right to the ball. Roll right, Hootie, looking to throw. Now he comes back left. He has one guy to break if he can get down the sideline, and he can't. He got the 33-yard line to gain a 3.
2-yard
and again,
pickup.
the one guy he had to beat was Lezer. And Ryan just pushed him out of bounds.
Pretty much, and again, he's
3rd and 8.
Doing a great job defensively, but Lezer held in check tonight. Offensively.
He was. There was a lot of times we had him double covered with a man pressing him and one behind him.
1 catch for 10 yards and 3 carries for 13. So
3rd and 7 for Huntington. We're showing 4 receivers. Andrew Hootie looking to throw. Scrambles up the middle to the right. He went to throw it, and he got sacked from behind. He was able to hold on to the ball, which only means that he gets to get one more play, a loss of 3, and it's going to be 4th down and 10. Clock's at 1:34. 1:30 left, and Huntington's down to their final play. Coming in motion, fakes the handoff. He can't throw it. He scrambles. And he's brought down at the 33. And that should be the final nail in the coffin for the Cats, who really put a great effort here against a very good Clearfield team. But at the same time, this game's going to end up 35-21. Clearfield will take over at Huntington's 32-yard line. No timeouts left for the Cats. And Clearfield with the 14-point lead with 74 seconds left. And I would say about 2 kneel downs ought to do it.
That's exactly right. And I'm one of these stat guys that in high school football, I don't count this play. These guys, they need their stats, and they can't help what's happening here. So I don't count these as plays on my stat sheets whenever I go into putting stuff in.
Well, Rummery takes a snap, kneels down at the 33-yard line. The clock now is under 60 seconds. So it's going to take one more kneel down. The Cats really put up a fight here today, but they got ahead 21-14. But then Clearfield flexed their muscle a little bit. And they did it without the help of their star, Ryan Leser.
Yeah, absolutely. Leser, again, as we had lamented before, only 23 yards in total offense for him, so not a lot.
I forgot this is not pro football. I'm looking at the 40-second clock.
Yeah, it's a little bit different there.
Nope. Yeah, the official did not want to start the clock until we got inside of 25. So the clock is going to run down with 10 seconds left. So Huntingdon will go to 1-3 with 3 very tough losses this year. I mean, they're very close to being 3-1, 4-0. But the bottom line is that Bearcats go to 1-3. Clearfield goes to 3-1. More importantly, 3-0 in the league. And Huntingdon will go to Penns Valley next week and then come back in 2 weeks against Juniata High here in 2 weeks in Warvest.
So that'll be the final score of tonight's ball game. Clearfield 35, Huntingdon 21. We'll bring it back here in about 2 minutes for the wrap-up show. Replay tonight at 11 o'clock. You've been listening to Chad States and Jim Zauzig and Bearcat Football on the airnetwork.net.
Huntingdon Center, located on Margie Drive in Huntingdon, offers degree programs in business management, criminal justice, liberal arts and sciences, and psychology. Are you ready to take the next step on your career path? Contact Penn Highlands Huntingdon at 814-643-6200 or visit Penn Highlands Community College online at pennhighlands.edu.
Brenneman's Meat Markets are celebrating nearly 70 years in providing Huntingdon County with quality USDA-approved processed pork, chicken, and beef products. Brenneman's has 2 locations in the county where the tradition of the finest meats are found in the region. Stop by Brenneman's Huntingdon weekdays from 8 to 6, Saturdays 8 to 3. Mount Union, open 9 to 5 weekdays and 9 to 2 on Saturdays. Choose specials of $10 to $50 meat packs containing your favorite meats. Or stop by and ask about our select custom cuts, prepared and packaged while you wait. Brenneman's Meat Markets in Huntingdon and Mount Union. Call our office at 814-643-2751 for specials and more information.
The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 is the heart of the community, serving Huntingdon for over 100 years. In addition to all the fun events our members enjoy throughout the year, the Moose family donated over $50,000 to local charities last year. Become a member of the Moose today and join the Women of the Moose on Saturday, September 17th for our breakfast and bake sale from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Then on Saturday, September 25th, get set to enjoy Quarter Stick with great classic rock from 8 to 11 p.m. Become a member of the Huntingdon Moose today. It's the best value in town.
D.C. Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family are committed and dedicated to excellence by supporting quality education and athletics for all youth of Huntingdon County. For over 3 generations, D.C. Goodman & Sons and their staff of quality tradesmen have provided excellent service in the installation of plumbing, mechanical and industrial piping, electrical, and fire sprinkler systems. Residential services are also available. D.C. Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family will continue to serve the community, and thank you for your support. The Goodman family wishes you the best to all area students in your pursuit of excellence. Now back to more Bearcat football exclusively on the airnetwork.net.
And welcome back to Warvest Field. Chad States here along with Jim Zauzig as Huntingdon suffers their 3rd defeat in a row, goes to 1-3 on the year. Overall, 0-3 in conference play. Handed a loss 35-21 in the hands of the Clearfield Bison. At one point in time, Jim, we were leading 21-14, and Clearfield coming with 2 unanswered scores there in the fourth quarter to go ahead and preserve the victory as they move their record to 3-1.
Well, the thing you got to pound home to the players right now on tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday practice is you've been playing very good football, and it's not showing up in the wins and losses. And you got to take it out on Penns Valley, who's not bad. They only lost 21-7 to Clearfield. So somebody's got to pay, and you want to tell your guys, Penns Valley's going to pay for what's happening to us. And then they put Juniata high after that back here at home. So if you're at Penns Valley next week, make them pay for what's happening to the Bearcats as they go to 1-3.
If we look at statistics here for Clearfield, they're getting it done on the ground, 199 yards, 140 of those by Seth Caldwell, along with his 3 touchdowns. Huntington with 115 net yards on the ground, 53 of those by Ian Border, 27 by Andrew Hootie, and 42 by Noah Glennie. Passing for Clearfield, 144 yards, 7 completions on 17 attempts, and 2 interceptions for Rummery. Most of the damage getting done to Heichel. 3 catches for 122 yards and a touchdown over the middle there in the fourth quarter. Andrew Hootie was 5 of 11, 95 yards and that 1 interception. His receptions mainly going to Jarris Warner, 4 catches for 30 yards, and Jonathan Price, 1 for 65. So Huntington return to action at Penns Valley next week in what is a critical conference game and a critical game for their playoff hopes moving forward as they now set at 1-3. 35-21 your final here at War Vets Field. Again, Bearcat football on the airnetwork.net. This has been Chad States and Jim Zauzig. Have a great evening.
Tonight's Huntingdon Bearcat football presentation has been brought to you by Huntingdon Moose Family Center, 223. Reinemann's Meat Markets, Huntingdon and Mount Union. Penn Highlands Community College, Huntingdon Campus. And by D.C. Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family. Also by the Huntingdon County Drop-In Center and the Ike Taylor Show Wednesdays at 8 p.m. exclusively on the airnetwork.net. Join us again next week for more Huntingdon Bearcat football here on the airnetwork.net.